Wing. And we're live. Yay! Hi guys. Sorry, I screwed up the scheduling thing. I forgot that YouTube has it on Pacific time, which is not my time, so I ended up setting it up with the wrong time in mind. So that's my bad. But it's all good. Go pop out this chat so I can read it better. Cause that's fun. Yeah, I have Sam with me, GlucoseGuard or Glucose Guardian, whatever it is.
Hi guys.
Hey. First question: how personal is too personal? It's just like don't ask me about like my personal relationships. I guess just like stuff that you wouldn't even like that you wouldn't. I guess things that would be that even in real life you would only tell your friends probably because I don't know. Just if I get an example, I will tell you. So yeah. Do I like Undertale? I think it's a cool game. I'm not really that obsessed with it. I do have one cat. Uh, I keep forgetting. I need to say names whenever I answer questions so people know I'm addressing them. Box O Trash. Have you heard of Marina and the Diamonds? Her music is really, really good, and I'm obsessed with her at the moment. Well, I have heard of her. I have listened to some of her songs and stuff like that.
Her music is good. I love it.
Hey. It's pretty good. Uh, Flareon exclamation point, cats or dogs? I have a preference for cats, but I also like dogs. It depends on the doggy.
I have a cat and a dog, so I don't have a preference.
I do too. I have dogs and a cat. I have one doggy whom I love, and then another doggy which isn't technically mine. It's my stepfamily's. Whom he's old. And then I have a cat whom I love. Cosmic Biscotti, tips on making gemsonas. I shrug. I don't even know how exactly I make gemsonas necessarily, like, honestly. Because I don't know how to make any of my characters. I just kind of do. So it's a process that usually comes naturally, in all honesty. Hey, can I fuse one of your... Oh, I'm sorry, wait, it's in all capitals. Might Night Girl. Hey, can I fuse one of your gemsonas with mine? Yes, you can. I actually, in my Q&A on my DeviantArt, you're free to fuse whatever with whatever. I'm cool with that. Rebecca Oliver, how will you spend your time now that you're cutting back on the speed paints? Well, I'm not cutting back on all my speed paints. I'm just changing my scheduling for my gem stuff. And I'll just be doing what I normally do. So, yeah. My God, this is already... See, this is why I put the thing in the rules saying that, like, don't... It's nothing personal if I miss your question, because there's so many. Okay. Kit Kat sorta animates. Why did you choose Moonstone for your personal gemsona? At the time, my brother and I wanted to make a duo that would, like, kind of stick together, I guess, and we thought Moonstone and Sunstone. How perfect is that? So I went with Moonstone because of the moon, and my brother went with Sunstone, so yeah. Don't touch my foot. Do you have any beach sona? I do not, actually. Noonie, what's your favorite type of gem? Like beryl, tourmaline, quartz? It doesn't have to be a can gem. I mean, I don't know, honestly. Gems are cool. CJ Mint Marshall, would you like to try and fuse your gems with your fans' gems? Like I have a Moonstone Sona and I make a picture of your Sona and my Sona fusing makes star/rainbow Moonstone. Too bad I didn't upload it. If you're asking like would I fuse with my fans, one day I do. There's many plans of things I want to do, but I've said this before. I procrastinate so bad with my commissions, and I have been for months now, and I have contest things I need to do. I'm trying to force myself not to keep jumping into doing more and more things to a point where I keep just to give me more distractions, so to speak. Flamestar 1031 tips on making character personalities. I mean, it depends on what you need. Like, in all honesty, like it's a very broad question, so I don't know how to exactly answer it because it really depends. When it comes to making characters, there's many different things you can do because it depends on, like, do you have a design that needs a personality? Do you have a universe with a character that you need and you don't know what their personality is? Or is there literally no character at all? You're making one from scratch. Like, it's a complicated, there's many different ways to go about it and stuff like that. So, oh, Ward, this is going to be hard. Arex 207 GT / Growtopia Arex 2007. When did you start? I'm assuming you mean start YouTube, and I don't actually remember exactly. I don't think it's even been quite a year yet, though. I don't know. I'm gonna scroll down, so I'm missing a lot of questions. I apologize. Stella Walsh, are you offended when your fans do that sort of second revolution for their OCs? Do you consider that copying? No, not really. It's not like it's a super original idea, and technically speaking. And I mean, I'd only say it'd be copying if you copied everything down to a T. Like,
if you copied the symbol, the characters, everything.
Yeah, exactly, because Second Rebellion AU is not entirely original in of itself. It's just an idea of, like, what if there was a second rebellion? It's like anyone could think about that. I don't consider that copying. I've had many people actually ask me, hey, can I kind of do something similar to that? And I say, sure, hell yeah, do it, because because not only that, but it's like, I don't want to limit someone from being able to do something totally creative, because there's so many different ways you could go with a second rebellion, so many beliefs they could have, and all this other kind of stuff. So I don't think that's copying, in all honesty. When are you going to do the live stream for the Pearl contest? Eventually. I actually am trying to do it where I do first. I want to do first place prizes first, because I'm going to be keeping that character. So to me, that's just takes a little bit of priority to it, I guess. But I will be doing them, I promise you. This is, like I've said, I'm doing my best to get contest stuff and commissions done before I add any more distractions, which is already really hard when you love drawing your own characters. But hey. Which is your least favorite gem rebel you've made? Ooh. I'm about to have to pick between my kids. Well, I guess two of them aren't technically my kids, but hey. I don't really have a least favorite. Can you have a least favorite of your own? Well, I guess you could have a least favorite of your own characters, but I don't really have one, I don't think. Question: do you have any advice for an aspiring artist? I want to be a manga writer or work in the animation business, but I'm like maybe 1/4 as good as you at drawing. Okay, why does everyone have? This is a lonely anime and Steven Universe fanatic. Why does everyone think that I'm somehow was just, like, born with talent and good art? Like, you think that a year ago I wasn't as good as I was now? Like, everyone starts somewhere, and I've been drawing since I can remember. I've always been doodled on, like, my homework and all this other kind of stuff. I've been drawing for forever. It's not a talent that some people are just wake up one day like, oh, I can draw now. It takes time. So my only advice is just do it. Like, just keep working at it, and you will, if you try to get good and take criticism and try to improve your art, you will get better, and you will be as good as the people you aspire to be. Trust me. like, honestly, believe it or not, I need to make a video one day. That'll be like a goal for the future. Make a video where I go look at all of my terrible old art and cringe at it, because I had some really, it was bad. So, yeah, like, really, just go. I believe it. Like, believe in you. Hey, Sakura Fire. I'm trying to be as fast. I'm trying to read everything, I promise. Will it be too spoilery for you to answer Looniverse questions? If not, then one, can you explain the witch things from the Looniverse? Okay. It depends on what I'm saying, because some things, like, I'll, honestly, on, oh god, I'm missing so many questions. I'm so sorry. It really depends, like, it depends on what it is, because some things, like, way down a line, there's concepts of characters that I'm willing to talk about. Like, the witch thing I can tell you about. The witch thing is a totally, kind of, what's the word? I know what the word is. It's a, what is it? It's kind of my own mythos. That's the word. It's my own mythos for witches, is that, for one thing, that all witches are female. That males can, like, carry the gene, but they can't be a witch or have magical powers. And if they can, it's rare. And they're all born with, like, they're all born with magic, but they all have the ability to use dark magic. But in order to do that, you have to have, like, in the story, you have to have, like, a third party, typically some sort of demon of some kind. Like, Vanessa's was Larith, that kind of unlocks that for you. And then when that happens, you get the funky eye thing happen. That's just sort of happen because it's a thing that has to do with your sight, which is hard. I don't want to explain that in this second, but it's all about it changes your sight. It gives you, and then it will give you, like, one bizarre trait that is just totally randomized and dependent on you. Like, Vanessa has her shark teeth thing going on, and then there's actually another witch like Vanessa that will show up later in the story that I have planned, who has, like, really long claw fingernail things. She's fun. And then also you also gain immortality, basically, which can either be a blessing or a curse. It depends. So, okay, I'm gonna let you guys know I'm gonna be trying to, like, keep up with the most recent questions, so if you have to, feel free to re-ask questions until I answer it, but just don't spam it. That's all I ask. Anyway, Nori for Glory asks, yo, have you ever played a Professor Layton game? I love that series to death. I think I've played almost every game that exists, possibly except for the one where it's the Phoenix Wright Professor Layton crossover, I think, was the only one, but oh my god, my brothers are being crazy, but so yeah, I love those games a lot. What's your opinion on gemstones having a weapon and a power, like having a spear but also being able to control wind to some extent? It depends, because I believe if they're gonna have very strong elemental powers, like Lapis has her water powers, then I believe that should be their main power. Everybody always points out that, like, oh, well, they can totally have more than one power, because, like, Ruby has fire powers, Sapphire has ice powers. Yeah, but they can't really control them or fight with them, from what we've seen.
It's just something they have that they can't control.
Yeah, and maybe if they tried hard enough they could, but I think it just depends. I think if you're going to give them a weapon, don't make the power super powerful, is just what I would think. Unless, I guess it depends. Like, maybe if that was a high-ranking gem, I guess it would make sense to have them being like super powerful, you know, stuff like that. So yeah.
The thing is, if it's an elemental power and you can do I think you should not have a weapon.
I agree. That's like with Lapis. Like, I think Aquamarine, she obviously has her water wings, but she also has her little wand thing. But that's because, like, her water wings she doesn't really fight with. So hey. But then again, I guess we don't know how much about her. My goodness. Tell us about this one true being number 001 AI asks, tell us about the Space Pirates manager or cowboy. I would prefer not to do that without my brother around, because because a few of them are actually, one of those is specifically his character. And then two of them are both kind of shared between us. So I can't really, I'd rather he be here if I'm going to talk about that, and he can't be here right now. Who's your favorite OC of yours? That, you are asking me with probably almost over 20 characters at this point. I have a lot of characters, so honestly I have, like, favorites within certain stories, because there's a lot. I'd have to say, from what you guys know. I guess I'll do this. My favorite gem character that I have, I reluctantly am going to disclude the recent Amethyst I made on DA because that would be unfair because I love her a lot currently, but she hasn't been there very long. My favorite gem OC would probably have to be either Ametrine or Clinohumite. And my favorite Luniverse character is probably definitely probably Vanessa, but I also like Infinity a lot too. And then my favorite character from my comic, even though I can't talk too much about that in particular, would have to be, I will never not call him this, quote, Golden Eyeliner Hottie, end quote, Quantablos 2017. So, I can't never call him that anymore. It's just, I can't, it was the funniest thing when I read that. Okay. Alright, so I'm trying to, I'm so sorry. Tips, Danny Bailey, tips on starting a YouTube channel. I'd love to, and I just need help getting started. Well, just, if you have to, like, if you need to figure out what recording programs to use, like, just do some research on it and just start. Like, make a channel and go for it, because if you spend too much time wondering on how to start it, you're never going to get it started. So just, if you want to start doing YouTube, find out how and just do it. Believe me. It's like the best way to get started is just doing it. So yeah. Which of the diamonds is your favorite? I mean, of the two canonical ones?
Yeah.
I'd have to say my favorite diamond is, of course, Magenta Diamond, because that meme will never end. But of the two diamonds that we know, I guess I'd have to say I like blue a lot, honestly, which probably isn't very surprising, but hey.
Blue is everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
She's my favorite.
Yeah. Tesco Value asks, where can I read Luniverse? These are important questions. There is no official story currently. One day I will make official story, but technically Luniverse is still kind of being created in a sense. I'm constantly changing. Like if you could look at the first picture I ever posted with the first character, whatever, versus now, it's constantly been changing. So, there's no official place, but if you want to read up on like details of characters and stuff like that, definitely on my DeviantArt. Just like any picture that includes any of them most likely has some information in there about them. So, hey, there you go. Who do you like more, Topaz or Aquamarine? I love Topaz. I want to give Topaz a hug.
We all do. We need to take care of the child.
Protect. Ona Mungo asked, I'm a wannabe writer. Any tips on an SUOC character's backstories? I mean, again, it's very dependent. I get so many people who ask me about tips about this kind of stuff, and it's so hard to answer it without going on a really, really long spiel about it, which is very hard to do when you're just trying to answer a question really quick. But again, it just really depends on what you're going for. I mean, like, just really, it just depends on what you're going for. So it's kind of hard to answer that one, I guess. Just backstories for any characters. It very much depends on what you're going for and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm very bad. I did tell you that my answers, I have no promise on the quality of my answers with advice. So, you know. Camila.ave101 asks, do you know any musicals? If so, what are they? I mean, I know a lot of musicals. You're asking a theater kid if they know musicals.
Yeah.
Like, flippin', I do know what musicals are. I know many. Too many to list, honestly. One True Being number 1001AI asks again, how do you price and create adoptables? You just kind of create designs, just find some inspiration and go for it, and then you just, pricing's all about what you think. Like, how much do you think they should be priced? That's why I often do, like, offer to adoptables, because sometimes it can be really good, also sometimes really bad, but, like, you know, it just depends, I guess. Tatterbug603 exclamation point asks, what's your opinion on making a story with a similar world as a TV show / book, like writing a story in a similar world but your own characters, rules, etc., as in not in, as and not as an AU? Well, it depends on like, because if you're going to make a story that is very heavily on the same vein, then it probably isn't going to be I think you should have full right to make that story, because there has never been a time when, like, people always make a big deal like, oh my god, you're ripping off something, how dare you, when in reality inspiration and rip off of something is two very different things. And there's many things, especially you'll notice, like, if you look into the comic book and like superhero kind of industry, there's a lot of times where like spin-offs or quote unquote rip-offs end up proving themselves to be as good or better than the original. I won't lie, that is a quote from another YouTuber named Pondersprocket, who's a very good YouTuber. Anyway, casual shout out to them, because I think I might even have more subs than her, and I don't believe how that's even possible. She makes way better content than me. But hey.
Oh my god, Zodiac, you stole from Pondersprocket.
I know, I'm so terrible, I'm sorry. But it's a good quote, though. So, but I think that you should be able to make something inspired off of a different story and things like that, you know? Anyway, geez, there's so many questions. What's your favorite child? No, Armless Amethyst. You probably don't remember me from DeviantArt. Alicorn Aqua. I mean, I think I already answered this, but like, of my gems, I'm assuming, because you mentioned Armless Amethyst in there. Probably Quinohemite or Ametrine, I guess. I don't know. Sheila Floors. Hi there. My question is about OCs and their designs. How do you get your inspirations? Do you look up? I'm assuming you mean look up pictures, or is it straight from your mind? It's a combination of both. Inspiration for things can come from many different places. Sometimes I'll see something online of like a certain appearance for a character. I'm thinking like, that'd make a really interesting looking character. Or I'll see something like, or in a design sense, or I'll see something about a character. I'm like, I really like that character concept. And then sometimes my inspiration for OC is just coming from like, well, I have this story and I have this character I really need in there. How can I make them as interesting as possible? So yeah, that's kind of like, it can come from many different places. And for the designs, however, I do recommend, it just depends. Oftentimes I will use references, especially if I'm trying to be more realistic with certain things. In fact, honestly, a lot of my Luniverse characters, their public disguises come from like fashion stuff I look up online to try and make it a bit more realistic, I guess, in a sense. And then sometimes there's characters, when it comes to like fantasy characters, oftentimes your mind can be your best research, but references are never a bad thing. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that, I guess. Northern Lands. Art tips for hands. You draw hands so well it amazes me. Just kind of look up references and use your own hands. It just takes a lot of practice and looking up tutorials and stuff like that. It's a thing. I don't know. So yeah. Puppet Master at TheZodiacLord. Congratulations on 20K. I can't believe that you got here. You grew up so fast. My question is, were you expecting to get this far on YouTube? Not this fast, by any sense of the word. I started doing this because I just wanted to upload like speed paints, and eventually I wanted to upload like character reviews, and I really, really wasn't expecting it to go fast. In fact, I came into doing YouTube with the mindset of like, okay, don't get too excited. It's not gonna happen very fast. If you're gonna gain subscribers, it's gonna be a slow uphill. And I was ready for that, and I was like, oh right, this is like, okay, it'll be fine. Like, that's kind of what I came in. I'm just going to come here and enjoy my time. And the fact that I gained this much traction so fast is just, crazy. Like, honestly. I don't, I can't even, like, it's hard to even fathom, like, how fast it happened. Like, I didn't come in here even expecting to ever get, like, that many subscribers that quickly. And I'm assuming it was because the first thing I did, the first time I quote unquote blew up was when I did the character review thing, and then everything kind of went up from there. So I think it's honestly really cool, and it's been really awesome, in all honesty. Anyway, PK Wheezing, Armethyst, and Horse Conch are not going to be shipped. I'm just saying that is not a ship. Horse Conch is with Quahog, I think that's how you say it, Quahog Pearl, which is by Teeny Tiny Jaws. And Armethyst might actually end up being shipped with someone else. That's kind of in the meh right now. But, like, so, yeah, that's not a ship. I'm just saying. But I can't, every time it goes so fast. Bananas, can I borrow your base for your ruby corruption? I will drop myself and make it mine. I mean, sure. Like, go ahead. If you want to use, like, my headcanons and stuff like that, you're free to. I mean, if you're using it exactly, I mean, I would prefer some credit, but you're free to use it. Like, go for it. Be free. So, yeah. Vera, oh dear, I'm not going to pronounce this. I apologize so much for this in advance. Vera Videnpa, do you have any tips on writing bios for characters? I've meant to write bios for my characters, but I never really know how you write one without making it too messy. You kind of just write it and you clean it up after you write it. That's kind of... And oftentimes, if you don't know what to put in there, you can look up templates. I actually use a template for, like, my Luniverse references. I use templates all the time. So, you just kind of write it and you go for it if you want to write an official bio kind of thing. So, yeah. I'm Chara. I'm bored in class. What character should I draw? And or what character would you suggest drawing on shitty paper? I mean, dude, when do you even know what, like, I don't even know which of my characters to draw when I sit down wanting to draw something. I am no help in this situation. Brave Diamond Cat, who's your favorite fan-made fusion? Like, your OC fused with someone else's OC. I mean, first of all, there's a lot. Second of all, I don't know how to say that without feeling like I'm offending someone. That's just the truth of the matter. I mean, I think a lot of them are pretty cool and creative and stuff like that. Nora Ghost, which OC is your wife/husband? They're my children. How dare you?
OCs are always children. They're...
Unless you make an OC to be a self-insert, or with your self-insert, but, you know, it's a different story. But my OC are my children. Carly Basig, what if the male counterparts to gems were metals? I don't know. I guess. Oh goodness, my dog!
Dog!
My dog is barking! There's thunder outside. She's barking. Doggy, stop barking. PK Wheezing. Stop! PK Wheezing. Just hypothetically, if someone to make a GIF for you, would they be able to put you in a tired animation meme? Sure, just make sure you show it to me. Because I'd be interested in seeing that, honestly. I keep, like, reading one that moves up and my eyes get goofed up. Camilo.ave101. Hey Zodiac, I'm trying to find a good reference to find your gem characters, but I can't seem to find any. Do you know where I can find references for them? DeviantArt has some, but there are hardly any official references for any of my characters except for Moonstone, Topaz, and Morganite. Or I guess Bornite does too, and Quino. And Amatrine / her components have a weird concept art is their ref technically, but there's not really a lot of professional refs, so yeah. So yeah, that's a thing. Chidima, I swear to God. Chidima asks, what's your favorite food? Chidima, you know me. I don't know. I will never know. It depends on my mood. Anyway. Yekat Purr asks, despite their hate for each other, if your Ruby and Sapphire were to fuse, what's the general idea of their design? Heck, would they even become a Garnet or another gem? They definitely become a Garnet, I think. But I don't really know because I haven't sat down and thought about it. But they probably look a little nuts, possibly, because they're they don't get along very well, so hey. Monty Jorgensen asked, what's the Luniverse? It is my own story, which is AKA it's a total mess. So, yeah.
It's pretty bad. Not bad as in bad thing. I mean bad as in it's messed up.
Honestly, to tell you all, in all honesty, a lot of what I do with Universe is centered on doing things that are oftentimes in stories either considered cliche or aren't done very much or are even just like hard to write in or typically considered quote unquote bad traits and things like that, and trying to make it something that works. Whether or not that succeeds, that is subjective. But if like there's a lot of in that story, like for example, Luniverse actually wasn't a story originally per se. It was a lot of adoptables and other characters I got that I decided to throw in a universe together that had no rhyme or reason to anything. And a lot of the characters were really, really bad and very, very flat. But I ended up looking back on it and thinking, you know what? I want to make this good. And that's actually what I do with a lot of my stories. I don't usually drop stories very often. I usually just try and make it work. That's kind of a challenge I enjoy having, is making something that shouldn't work or isn't working and making it work. And Luniverse now actually, things make sense, as weird and complicated as it is. I'm kind of trying to, things are starting to kind of work, if that makes sense. They are very, like, just, I don't know, it's been a very fun challenge that I'm trying to be, stuff like that. And Sarah Davis, I'm sorry, I keep seeing it, and I'm sorry I haven't responded. Okay, so I know this is off topic, but where did you start for your gender transition? I haven't got very far. It's mostly just saying that these are the pronouns I prefer and dressing like as a guy and stuff like that. So it's not really that far into it. And like one day in the future when I'm probably have more time and patience for it, it's very like my whole stance on gender and my own gender experience is a very complicated thing, so it's kind of hard to explain, but stuff like that. So yeah. So many. Sprinkles, yay. Did you know that Clinohumite and Ametrine were added to Gem Sona Maker, or they were always there and I didn't notice because I'm an idiot? I don't know every gem that's in Gem Sona Maker, so I don't know. Sophia F. Mirino asks, where can we find the Luniverse story? There's no official story, but it's on my DA. You can read long paragraphs of me rambling about characters and some of the backstories and things. I'm way too addicted to my characters. Anyway. Paradise of Thorns. This is a good question. Approximately how long can you talk about any of your characters and or the universes they live in? For eternity, or at least until my throat is completely dry. I am very passionate about my stories. I love them very much, so yeah. So I can talk for them for like years, which is probably why I included them in this Q&A, because I actually very much enjoy talking about it. So if anyone's willing to listen, be prepared, because I'm never going to shut up. Anyway. Kit Kat sorta animates. Can you explain the Luniverse and the Rebellion in 5 words or less each? Ooh boy. Let's see. The Rebellion is probably
Can the rebellion be memes?
a bunch of hardcore memers. That's what the Rebellion is, I guess. I don't even know. Luniverse is... I don't even actually know. That's my 5 words. I don't know how to explain that. It's so complicated. I don't think I can explain it. It's like Homestuck. You can't explain it in 5 words.
Homestuck's just there, and if you try to explain it in 5 words, that's not gonna happen.
Really, I don't think you can, or even try to do it justice by doing it in 5 words. You're not even gonna scrape the surface at all. I'm sorry. Okay. Kara, have any recent contests you open? If so, what is it? Because I really want to be in one. Also, have you once suffer the long leg drawing syndrome in your beginning art? First of all, there's no contests right now. There probably won't be another one for a long time, but I don't think my characters have actually had long leg syndrome. I think they've had short leg syndrome, or maybe they've had slightly long leg syndrome. I don't know. Well, that's not 5 words, but I want to read this because I think it kind of explains part of Luniverse, or at least the very beginning of it. One true being, number 1001 AI. Sun God causes the apocalypse with an asexual girl having a destiny. That's close enough.
That's about it?
That's kind of it. An Aero Ace girl with all of her very bizarre roommates.
So Quan in a few years.
Main character meets mythical people. That one's a good one. Pup Wild asked, who's your favorite character in the Luniverse? Also, I'm sorry if it seems like I'm favoring OC questions. I just keep seeing them and I'm like, look, here's a thing. Let me just answer this while I'm looking at it. My least favorite character in Luniverse as a whole, I'd say probably a few of the side characters, just because there's not a lot to them and there's not a lot I want to do with them, because then I'm going to make an entire side story. There's a lot of like side characters that I make and then I can't stop developing them. And then it gets a bit out of hand. So I don't necessarily have a least favorite, I guess. I guess if I had to pick like a personal least favorite that I would genuinely hate in real life, probably a few of the villains, aka the main villain, but hey. Shattered Diamond asked, what's your Steven Universe OTP canon characters? I feel like I used to have an OTP, but now I'm kind of like, ships are a thing. Like, I don't know. I don't have something that, like, I see it and I'm just like, yes, make it canon. I don't know. I don't really have a kind of a real OTP, I guess, at the moment. Ooh, this might be one I can actually give proper advice on. LLN00 __ asked, any tips on making I go scroll up. Any tips on making a good god character? I have a bunch of them and a universe for them, but I'm looking for ways to improve them. Thought asking you might help since you have infinity and all. I can do my best. So this is not actually one I can actually give kind of advice on. So for one thing, it does depend a lot on context and what kind of gods you're going for. In fact, in Luniverse, actually, I have example of two kinds of gods, believe it or not, because there are the alien gods, which are the reality gods, and there's also gods that have to do with Sphinx's backstory, and that's a whole other mess, because it's basically me just taking Egyptian lore and spinning it around and giving everyone different names. Anyway, but that's besides the point. So, it very much depends, because for one thing, if you're making gods and you're trying to make them on the equivalent standings with other characters in that story, you have to make sure there is a decent balance between them so they don't come off as too overpowered to where they're uninteresting. And you can even, if you need help of like a basis of where to start with a god character, I feel like a good place to start, I think, is just looking at real life and how gods have been worshipped in the past. Like, I mean, for one thing, because there's like actually kind of two different gods, and I think a really good example of this that I can just think of off the top of my head is like Egyptian gods versus like Greek gods. Egyptian gods, if you look at the mythology of them, where they were all like worshipped by different people. That's usually a thing when it comes to gods, but they were often seen as like really higher beings. Like a lot of them were typically very, very powerful, very, as most gods are, but very, very powerful, very, very supreme, and like almost, I guess, very close to perfect, if that makes sense. Meanwhile, if you look at Greek gods were actually made to almost, in a sense, represent man. Yes, they were extremely powerful and could do a lot of very powerful things, but they have very human personalities, which is one reason why it's so fun to learn about them. Because, in a sense, they're like, for example, you have Hera, who is a goddess who is beautiful, gorgeous, queen of the gods, and she has jealousy issues. Very, very strong jealousy issues. You have Zeus, who is king of the gods, mighty and powerful, and possibly like one of the most powerful gods, if not the most powerful, and he's got a very uncontrollable lust. So it depends what kind of god you're going for. If you're going for a god that is, if you want a god who like can be worshipped in the story, like basically kind of making a religion, you could either make a god who is supreme, powerful, and almost kind of above, almost can serve as a mentor character or even a main villain. Or you can make down the more Greek style of gods and actually give them like flaws and weaknesses and have and stuff like that. And it also depends on what you're kind of writing. For example, if you're writing a story where the main villain is a god, you have to decide, are the characters going to be powerful enough to match the god, or does the god have to be toned down enough to be defeatable? So it's sort of a balancing act when it comes to god characters. And a lot of people, I feel like with god characters, you can very easily get away with having the more overpowered thing, just depending on the context of your story. But yeah, that's kind of my advice, my very rambly advice on writing god characters. If I had Tara Kent, I know I was using Egyptian versus Greek as an example, because that was the first thing I thought of. So hey, so yeah, that's kind of what my kind of advice is. I'd go in more detail, but I don't want to like take up the entire stream just talking about how to write certain characters. So yeah.
Also, don't forget that the Battle of Troy started over 3 goddesses asking a dude who's pretty.
Exactly. So I love learning about Greek gods because it's like watching a soap opera. So yeah, honestly, my advice is if you want the gods to actually be interesting and memorable, go for the more Greek gaudy soap opera route, in my opinion. But if you want them just to kind of be there to be powerful beings or just contribute as like side characters, then I think that sometimes it might be a bit more beneficial to go down the more supreme, omniscient being route. But that's all just depends on what you're writing. My dog is barking again! Anyway. I swear to God. Anyway, I know I'm sorry I've missed a lot of questions. I'm doing my best. Do you have any, Taterbug603 exclamation point, do you have any advice for drawing backgrounds? I've always struggled with them. I struggle with them too. If you haven't noticed, a lot of my doodles have the exact same kind of background. Like, it's, I don't know how to really give good explanation. I don't know how to give advice on that, in all honesty. I'm not good at doing backgrounds, so. I'm sorry I've missed so many questions. God dang it.
There are a lot of questions.
There are a lot of questions. I mean, there's 112 people in this stream. I'm not surprised.
Which is worse, jorts or jedding dresses?
Morty Jorgensen. I'm trying to make a very unique story, and I don't know how to start. What methods do you use? Do you mean start as in, like, start the story, like the actual official beginning of it, or just to start creating the story? Because I have different advice for both. Anyway, so Reina Corey asks, Zodiac, was the following intentional or just a coincidence? 7 sins and a baby. Albino has a ponytail, hates his fellow sins, and is albino. And Quartz has a ponytail, hates everyone, and is albino. Explain. First of all, Quartz is not albino. He is just very white.
Because Quartz is white.
Very big difference. That was not intentional. I'll say that first of all. Second of all, they are very different characters. Quartz is very chill and actually tries to solve Discord. Albino starts it. And Quartz is very mom. Albino not so much. Albino is cause all the drama. He literally, you'll find this soon as I post more pages if you follow the story. It's very, he within the first few pages of just the introduction, he wants to fight someone already. So he's a mess. So yeah. Anyway. Don't touch my foot. Please, will you ever draw the battle in between Bloodstone and Snowflake? Please, I must know. If I feel like it, I don't know, it's not, I guess it just depends. First, you'll actually kind of know, if I'm being honest, I usually only draw my gems if something comes to mind that I want to draw. I like to prioritize a lot of my more original story characters a bit more than my gems. Not that I don't like my gems, but I guess it's kind of a thing of like, oh, look at this story that I might actually turn into a thing one day that I am really passionate about, versus these characters that I kind of just meme around with. So, you know, it depends. Maybe one day time will tell, I guess. Andrew Jost, are your characters based off your friends and family? Not really. I guess, well, Sunstone and Moonstone are based on me and my brother. There are actually 2 characters that I made, and I gave them the same name as my parents. Not gonna say who those are, for obvious reasons, but I guess they're not the same names, but they're similar names to my parents, just kind of as a bit of an homage, but, you know, stuff like that, so yeah. Do you think you would ever make a webcomic? I want to read about your OCs. I do have one, kind of. It's not a webcomic in the sense that I have my own website, but it's on Tapas and DA. It's 7 Cents and a Baby. Hey! So, yeah. Pearl and Lapis Lazuli. I keep seeing them ask this. So, the TheZodiacLord. No, I'm sorry. The GlucoseGuard. Tips on gem weapons. I have an OC and they have pyrokinesis, and I want a weapon that contributes to that power. Why not just make the weapon pyrokinesis? I mean,
yeah.
Like, why not? I mean, if you have to, you could do something like giving them fire wings, like Lapis has the water wings, but, you know.
Also, if you have a weapon and very strong pyrokinesis, as we said before, it can get a little overpowered.
Yeah, it depends. But you know. Faustus Forest, do you have any advice for staying consistent with drawing characters? Do you mean staying consistent as in making sure they look consistent in your drawings, like visually, or just consistently drawing your characters?
Because consistently drawing your character,
that's just based on...
Zodiac can help with you.
PK Wheezing, would it be too much if I gave my OC slight levitation and a whip? I mean, what's too much? It's up to you. I mean, that doesn't sound like too much to me, but hey.
No,
It's kind of up for you, in all honesty. I ain't gonna tell you how to make your character. It's just my own opinions. Making them look the same. Just do your best. If all else fails, it's your character. So, I mean, you can always just do what I do to make the excuse that it's just you tweaking their design. Anyway. Whoa, okay. Serenity Johnson, please, I've asked 8 questions. Can you at least tell me how many gem fusions can you make? I don't mind if you say my name. Okay, first of all, please, like I said, don't get mad if I don't answer your questions. You have any idea how many questions I'm missing? I have to say that, like, you're not really gonna make... Yelling about it's not gonna help. Like, there's plenty of people asking a lot of stuff. Because... So I'm missing a lot of questions, so, you know, but anyway. A lot, I mean, there's a lot of gems of mine and canon, so a lot. KK Cool asked, Zodiac, do you ship Sunstone x Moonstone? Wait, is that incest? Yes, kind of is.
It's incest.
I mean, yeah, Sunstone and Moonstone aren't actually brothers because they're gems, but considering they're based on me and my brother, that would kind of be incest. Like, kind of a lot. Kiko Bonnie, exclamation point. What is your least favorite and favorite fusion that you've made for Fuse Day Tuesday? Huh. That's a good question. I really don't know. I genuinely, like, you guys know me. There are things that I like about, I have favorites for things, like, I have favorites for things, I favorite things for different reasons, if that makes any sense. Like, I'll like one thing because of this, or one thing like that. I'm such an indecisive person, I will never be able to, figure that out, you know? I'm very indecisive when it comes to... Taterbug603 exclamation point. What's your opinion on fashion and nudity with your characters? Like putting your characters in revealing clothing in a non-sexualized way. Sorry, there's some cool philosophy behind this, ha. I mean, for some reason, I don't know why, but I'm the kind of person who thinks that I don't know why people make a big deal when there's, like, I guess the best way to put it is, like, tasteful nudity that isn't sexual. Because, like, sexual nudity, I get. That's kind of... It's sexual. But, like, if it's just, like, a pair of boobs, for example. And it's just for the sake of, like, something artistic or just even for the sake of practicing anatomy and stuff like that. I don't know why people need to flip out about that. I think context matters, but I don't think... Like, my own OCs, I've actually... there are, like, stuff and things like that, and honestly, eventually I will probably do that kind of stuff, because just to work on anatomy and making sure certain kind of things, so, you know, stuff like that, so yeah. Yazzie McDoodles asks, how many gemstones do you currently have? I have 7 right now and working on the storyline. By the way, thanks for inspiring me to do my gemstones in your road. Thank you, I'm glad I could inspire you. And, too many to count, my friend. Zodiac just came up with a question. Which Luniverse came first? Sakura Fire. Okay, this is a bit complicated because I've actually had this realization myself. Technically speaking, if I want to be official about it, the first official character that I put, like the first one I actually made the story with, would be Luna. But Infinity was designed like months before Luna. But Infinity was just a design that was done for an art class thing. But she was designed first. However, I didn't put her in. She was the third one I put in after Jackson. So, yeah. Voidfish, Magenta Diamond X Luna, yes/yes, no/no.
Hey, that's a good username.
Who?
I watched the Adventure Zone. The Voidfish.
Animal Productions, would you ever consider reading stories made by us? I would love to do that. I would happily do that if I had some stories written for me. Northern Lands, what is your least favorite fandom? Oh no. I'm about to open a whole can of worms, aren't I? Glucose, you want to suffer with this question with me?
What question?
What's my least favorite fandom?
Oh.
Do you want to answer this with me, or am I on my own?
You can answer it.
Oh, great. Lovely. So, my least favorite fandom... Oh, dear, I'm about to offend some people.
Oh no.
I'd have to say my least favorite fandom, in all honesty, would honestly have to be the creepypasta fandom.
It's kind of hell.
Which is very ironic considering something I'm doing would technically have to put me into the fandom because of something I'm doing behind the scenes. But the fandom, I don't enjoy it. They're just, it's not even the people who make the crappy ripoffs that get on my nerves. It's also some of the people who complain about said crappy ripoffs. Because some of them are also a little bit stupid. In all honesty, not gonna name names because I'm already opening up a whole can of worms. I just think the whole fandom in general, for the most part, is just kind of hell. And I also it's so weird. And also just the entire concept of oh, these are canon creepypastas versus these aren't. Technically, all creepypasta characters that are made, if they have a story that is on the internet, it's a creepypasta making them canon. But that's a whole other rant for another day. Goodness gracious. So, that would be my response to that. It's not my favorite fandom for many, many reasons. So, yeah. Mars Cat. How do you choose the fusion gem? If you're gonna fuse two gems, how do you choose the resulting gem? Do you put science into it? What about normal gem sonas? Sorry, I really need to know this. I don't know. It's very... It just depends. Sometimes I try to find something that would fit for different reasons so I can get some creative points, but there's also times where I often pick it for just aesthetic purposes. So again, it just really depends, a lot of people, I don't know why, but a lot of people seem to think that I have some weird strategy with making picking fusion gems, but it really isn't, it's just kind of a thing that happens, and you just kind of pick it. I don't know. So yeah, that's my big ol' spooky secret. Is Lemons asks, is there anything that you have trouble drawing, like hands, poses, hair, etc.? I'd have to say, oftentimes I'd say doing certain poses are kind of difficult, especially couple poses. I'm very, very terrible at couple poses. Terrible. So, yeah. Chittima, I see you. You know there's only one podcast I've ever listened to, and I don't even really listen to it anymore. Fight me, Chittima.
Zodiac.
What?
Watch The Adventure Zone.
I will eventually someday.
Oh, Voidfish is asking me stuff.
Yeah, ask Glucose some questions. I'm dragging her into this.
Did you think Lucretia's super bubble would stop the hungriest boy John and pals? No. It would not.
Noonie, I have a question. Do you know what Cecillos is? I exercise my right not to answer that question.
Zodiac is taco.
Goodness.
How do you draw your hands? I don't. If you look at a lot of my art, it's a lot of hand hiding.
I'm beginning to wonder if maybe I should let Glucose read me the questions so I don't silently be choosy and I don't feel like I'm personally attacking anyone or purposely ignoring people.
Do you think about making an off-color gem? Well,
I have an off-color gem.
Has.
Well, it's not on YouTube, so that's understandable. But hey, I have one. It's an unfinished amethyst.
Is gay?
What?
Does Bruno Mars is gay?
C.
With your gem fusion, which one would have a sardonic situation, one taking advantage of the other?
Ooh. Are we going off of my fusions that already exist, or?
I think that's what they were asking.
Yeah, I have no clue. There's like over 30 of them. I have no clue.
How to is shading.
I wish I could answer. Oh no! Ignore that. Just real quick, Animal Productions. I don't have a Tumblr, and I will never be getting a Tumblr.
I do.
Yeah, go follow Glucose on Tumblr.
My name is super long and probably won't get it, but... How was your day?
My day was good. Thank you for asking. I went to the pond and I fed ducks and I became the Duck Lord. I wish I could show you pictures.
Will you make a homeworld gem swap? That's already kind of in the works.
I kind of have some question mark. I mean, I still don't know what I'm doing with Jet. I need to do something with Jet. But anyway.
Have you ever heard or seen the anime Fruit?
I've heard of it. I have never watched it. So.
How do you edit only line art on Procreate?
You can't, really. It's really hard and tedious. Oftentimes I just use my multiply trick for the line art for most of the time because it's a lot harder than it should be, but hey.
How do you do interesting and dynamic poses?
References, most of the time.
A lot of references.
Lots of references.
Hey Zodiac, I've talked to you about cosplaying your characters and fusions. Which of your favorites and would you want to see done most as a cosplay?
I will not sway to which one you would like to cosplay as if you are to cosplay them. I just want you to do whatever you want to do, and then I would love to see it. Because if you're going to do that and cosplay one of my characters, I demand you do something that will be fun. That's my thing. That is my only request.
I swear I'm not asking for one, but have you ever done art trades?
I have, and I would be doing more if I wasn't trying to not distract myself. I'm gonna probably try and do one or two more commissions and a few more contest prizes before I do any more art trades or collabs. Or I'll do some collabs with friends on the occasion, but and I even said I'm going to do that before I join Art Fight. I know everyone's all upset because they're like, you should join Art Fight. Like, I can't right now. I'm trying to be responsible.
For Corrupt Day Monday, will you eventually corrupt...
You cut out.
Will you corrupt your own OCs for Corrupt Day Monday?
I've answered this so many times. I will eventually, but I'm just doing them as I do them, so Maybe eventually, but you know.
Do you know what a dick is? Because they're cute.
I do know what a dick is. They
Is
are
it too
cute.
late to make a gem Sona? No, it's not.
It's never too late.
Will you ever do Steven Universe gender swap?
I personally probably won't, honestly.
Do you listen to music when you draw?
I actually just usually watch YouTube when I draw, honestly. So sometimes I need to stop doing that. So sometimes it'll be like speed paints with music in it, or sometimes it'll be like commentaries and all sorts of kind of stuff. So you know.
Does Zodiac is RN a gay? Yeah, kind of. Is a foster home overused in character design or relatively unused? I think it's used a lot.
Well, actually, I've heard of like adoptive families, but I haven't really heard of like foster homes. I don't know if I'm just like they never use that term, but like
I think they just never used the term.
I don't know. Is there a difference between like adoptive households and foster homes? Because isn't foster homes are temporary, aren't they?
Foster homes take in kids who jump around. Adoptive homes are
Yeah.
adopted the kid and it's there forever.
In that case, I don't think that's actually used very much. Most of the time when I see it's always like adopted family, period.
Any tips on getting out of art block?
I wish I knew, man.
I sit in hell until it eventually ends itself. We're not telling you how many eyes Ametrine.
Yeah, the Ametrine's eyes will remain a secret for as long as I want them to. Ooh, this is actually a good question that I want to go off. Meme Queen. Zodiac, what's your opinions on using a trope in a storyline? Don't be afraid to use a trope. Tropes are not inherently bad, despite what some people and even some character reviewers might tell you. Tropes can be used very well, and people, honestly, I think it's wrong to think that cliches and tropes are inherently bad because it just solely depends on how you write it. Now, of course, there is a balance you need to make. Like, if you use every cliche and trope alive, and I guess you could still write it off well, but it's not recommended. But don't be afraid to use tropes or cliches or things like that because despite popular belief, they can be done well and effectively, and a lot of popular media and stories have a lot of tropes, so you know.
Elijah asked what your gender was. That's a boy.
I'm a boy. Let's go.
What do you keep dropping / knocking over?
I actually have my tablet by my computer has 2 batteries because I actually have to charge them outside of the tablet, and so I have 2 so I can alternate them. And for some reason when I have idle hands, I start throwing things around, so I've been throwing around my spare battery all over the place, and I keep dropping it on my little quote-unquote desk, which is actually just a side table that I have my computer on that I have by a couch. And I keep drawing it on like the metal frame below it. So, yeah.
For how much longer are you going to be live streaming?
No clue.
Quan equals best wife?
Yes, Quan is best wife.
Have you heard of / seen Fairy Tale?
I have watched. I don't remember how far, but I've watched a good amount of Fairy Tale, but I ended up stopping because it just felt like too much, and I just kind of fell out of it, I guess.
What do you think about love triangles? Are used?
Depends on how it's written. It's because like the thing is, I have a weird love-hate relationship with love triangles because it really depends on how they're written. I really don't like the love triangles that just do the same thing everyone else does, and it's almost always like 2 guys love the same girl. It's almost always that, but you know, even the other way around. I don't like it when it's always like the same thing and it feels so dull. But there are love triangles that I like, and there's even a love circle from my book that I really like, which it could have been so unneeded and so cliche, but I ended up actually liking it because it was actually, okay, just to put this perspective, there's like 4 characters. There is Mary, there is Harry, there is Travis, and then there is Cass. And the thing was, I won't go into everything about the book because it's a complicated book, but like Cass and Harry were in, or not Cass and Harry, Cass and Travis were in an arranged marriage, and Harry and Mary were in a gonna be married together because Harry loved Mary, but Mary loved Travis, and she was under the assumption that Travis liked Cass and they loved each other. So she never said anything. But then she finds out, oh no, Travis does like me. And so that's a thing that happens. And then, and then suddenly you also find out, to make things worse, Cass actually likes Harry, who likes Mary, who likes Travis. And so it was like, and the way it was written was actually really good, I think. And I really liked it a lot. But, so yeah, I don't think it's inherently bad, but it's one of those things that you gotta just try. Like, I don't like seeing media throw in love triangles for the sake of, ooh, drama, when it, like, just is written very poorly. So yeah, that's my opinion on love triangles. But again, like with the cliches, you should not be afraid to include it because, again, it can be done very well. Love triangles, love whatever, can always be done well.
Aaron said hi to me. Hi. What's your favorite Pokemon?
You mean of like the 1,000 Pokemon in the world?
There are 625.
It feels
Mons
like it feels like 1,000. I feel like this was purposeful. Or maybe not. Never mind. Hang on. Scream. Wonder Woman. How far will you take the Looniverse? As far as I can, bro. It's crazy. There's a lot of storylines. It's gonna be a complicated story, I promise you. If I ever make an actual like story for it, buckle up. It's gonna be a ride.
Oh wait, there are 802.
See, I knew it was close to 1,000.
I forgot about Sun and Moon. How do you come up with personalities for, like, anything?
Again, it depends. I don't know, it really depends.
Do you do character reviews? If you don't, can I still send you my gem Sona?
I do character reviews, although I have to warn you, I have over 1,000, not 1,000, whew, that'd be even worse. I have over 100 requests currently, so it's a very slow-going process.
So this person's been asking this for a while. Does Canon Topaz is cinnamon roll? Yeah?
Yes. C.
What's the relationship between your brother's personas?
They're friends.
Do you do plot reviews?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, I could, I guess. But I like my character reviews would probably still take as equally a long time. I have to tell you a story. This is a little bit off topic. But I got really upset because for a while now, I've actually been doing something that would have made my editing process for doing character reviews so much faster and so much more fun. And I had a realization I probably cannot use what I have created for a long time because it has to do in relation to my comic. And I don't even have all the characters introduced. In fact, the 6th character has just been introduced, and I'm working on page 27. So,
what's your opinion on male gems? And people hating on male gems?
Well, my opinion on male gems should be pretty obvious, considering I have some. I don't like it when people just flat out hate male gem characters because they're males. I can think that you're allowed to disagree with them, but gems don't even have genders. I really think that they can very easily be dudes if they wanted to be dudes. Like, honestly, you're free, and I think everybody has a right and a reason, and a very fair reason to not really approve of male gem characters or want or like the concept of male gems. But I really don't like it when they just go out of their way to hate on someone for daring to have a male gem character. Like a male presenting gem character. So, you know, that's my opinion. I don't think anyone like just hating on anything for the sake of hating it is ever a good thing. Just in all honesty.
Opinion on the Steven Universe fandom as a whole.
I believe there's some really great and creative people in it, and I also believe there is a small part of it, like any fandom, that really gets on my nerves. In all honesty, and it's the people whom, of course, like, you know, like, will, like, throw a fit the moment someone has, like, doesn't draw a character exactly like how they're supposed to be drawn, you know, and, like, the people who take their headcanons and they can't possibly believe anyone could possibly ever have a different headcanon in them, you know, and those people really just get under my skin, because it's like, stop, you know, like, so that's kind of my opinion. Like with any fandom, though, it's every fandom has that dark side for the most part. Usually the only ones that don't are very small fandoms, so, you know.
On a scale of 1 to litter of new kittens sleeping on a cloud, how cute is the baby in Seven Sins and a Baby?
Well, I mean, obviously that's going to be subjective for when she gets introduced, but in the context of the comic, this is just me talking in the context of the comic, she is supposed to be a newborn kitten sleeping on a cloud kind of cute. In the context of the story. I mean, it's going to make a bunch of really asshole, just selfish characters actually have a weakness, so she's cute in the context of the story. If you don't think she's cute, then that's fine. So,
advice for writing a gender fluid character.
I don't know. I've never actually tried writing a gender fluid character, and if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know if I ever really could. I don't know if that's a challenge I would enjoy taking on very much, for reasons that I don't want to delve into. Yeah, so, like, I have no advice on that because I have no experience in doing that, so.
If Sunstone and Moonstone's relationship turns sour, Bloodstone be more like Malachite?
Bloodstone's already worse than Malachite.
It's pretty bad.
I actually, here's just a little insight on how Bloodstone kind of thinks. Whenever, Bloodstone's almost like his own being, in a sense. To where, like, even if Moonstone and Sunstone started disagreeing with whatever was happening, they couldn't really stop themselves. So, yeah. Animal Productions advice for writing an agender / non-binary character. Again, I have no experience, so.
Do you have advice on creating diamond quartz? Since you has magenta, I have a black diamond, and I want to develop it.
I'm already so terrible with keeping up with my court. I don't think taking advice from me is a very good idea.
He had to call in me for support to...
Oh yeah, I had like a bunch of references backed up, and I was just taking so long. I was like, Glucose, help me!
And I'm co-running... We're kind of running Lavender Diamond too, and I have Blood Diamond Court to handle.
Glucose is the master of courts. Ultimate court master.
I'm just good at taking care of the children. Any advice for making evil characters?
Ooh. This is something I'm going to make a, like a speed paint, thing, and the commentary paint going along with it is going to be talking about villains, and actually some of my pet peeve with villain characters. Because villain characters, first of all, it very much depends on what story you're creating. If you're creating a story where it's going to be more cartoony and stuff like that, then sometimes having a character that does what they do just because they're evil can be actually very comedic and funny. And it also depends, like, what kind of villain you're having. Because if you're having the typical antagonist villain, then that's different than having a protagonist villain. Which I love seeing stories that take on the challenge of writing a protagonist who is a villain. But villains, I love a good, well-written villain. And I also am slightly upset whenever... I think villains can be a very challenging thing if you let it be challenging. And I think something you'll actually notice, a very big theme with a lot of my stories is I love making villains that just you don't look at them and think, that's a villain right there. Like, hardly any of them. In fact, like in Looniverse, you guys already know the main villain, the final boss of Looniverse, is the sun god, who is evil as all hell. And then flippin', Arctic real quick. I think that, again, I think a Disney villain kind of thing is good for, like, maybe even a kid's story or a more comedic, cartoony kind of story. But for, like, a more dramatic story, again, it depends. And again, in my opinion, anything can be written well. Almost anything, I think. But anyway. And then I also, if you look at other stories, like I have a story that I have not talked about very much, and I'll say that every single time, whom the main villain is based on the color pink. And yeah. And then, not to spoil much, but in Seven Sins and the Baby, the main villain is not who you expect. It really isn't. And also the other villains, it's kind of funny. Well, I guess technically in Seven Sins and a Baby, in a sense, the villains are the Seven Sins. Because they're supposed to be kind of the jokingly, like, RPG villains, and the main the antagonists for a long period of time are supposed to be RPG heroes. Anyway, but yeah, so I have a lot of fun making villains that just aren't villains, so... okay, just to say this, no, the baby is not the villain. It's the... Do not call my baby Angel the villain. She's far from the villain. She is the purest.
So I've seen a few people say this. How do they send OCs to you?
Do I even want to say it? I can't. You send it. You note me on DA, and make sure that you have a design for me to go off of and a bio for me to go off of some kind. It doesn't even have to be long. In fact, I'm actually considering possibly getting OCs sent to me that have shorter bios and doing like one-shot things where I like do a thing of collage of 3 different things, which I totally didn't steal from constructive criticism. Anyway, so. I think there was something that like somebody asked earlier that I need to remember. That someone asked, and I was like, oh, that's the thing I actually kind of almost want to rant about. Or not rant about it, but go on a long spiel about. Hang on, I'm going to scroll up and see if I can find it.
What platform do you use for art? YouTube and DeviantArt?
YouTube, DeviantArt, and then I sometimes post doodles on Instagram.
But that's occasional. Do you have any suggestions on designing different species, aliens, whatever? I've been struggling on making kinda, but not really human.
Okay, I think it just depends. This is for Via Nickel, but like, it depends on your skill set, because some people actually have a really easy time creating very strange humanoid-looking creatures that don't look human, but then some people have a really hard time doing it. I find myself somewhere in the middle sometimes with it, but just try, like, take a human and figure out what can I do to make it look alien and look inhuman, you know? Like, just go for it. Like, don't limit yourself. So, yeah. Someone keeps saying you got mentioned in Twisted Disaster Art's video.
What video? I'm gonna look it up.
That name sounds very familiar. Oh, I do know who this is. Wait, holy shit, hang on. For some reason that didn't click with me. I totally know who this is. Wait, hang on, I gotta ask, is this like a bad mention or a good mention? I need to know this first.
Twisted Disaster Arts?
I know who they are. I've watched like some of their videos. I gotta ask though, for the people saying that, was it a good mention or a bad mention? I gotta know this.
Yeah. I'm looking.
Yeah, here, I think I found it. Hang on. Hang on. You're right there. I know that's you. Come on. I've watched some of her videos. Okay,
Agate OC video.
was that the one? I was gonna watch that one, and I was kind of like, I want to do something else first. Holy shit, I wasn't aware of this.
I'm looking at it right now.
Tell you gotta tell me, Glucose. You gotta. Oh, they said it's a good mention. Oh my god. That's nuts. I've watched some of her things. I've watched a few of her little ramble things, and I like them very much. Like her stuff on things like that. I knew there must have been a reason YouTube kept suggesting that Gem OC video. It kept recommending it to me, and I was just like, is this just because I watch like? But then I realized, wait a second, no, I'm not on my big quote unquote famous accounts. But like, holy crap. I didn't know. I actually watched the very beginning of that, but then I was like, hang on, I gotta go do things. Oh, hi!
Oh, hi.
Hang on, wait, hold up.
It's such a long video. It's 13 minutes.
I know, I joined. Oh, hi, I didn't know you were watching.
You keep answering questions, I'll find it.
Holy, I'm like, I have the video pulled up right here. I would watch it, but I don't have headphones with this thing, so. Holy crap, what the heck? I had no idea. I started watching that video today, but then like, I think I went down to eat dinner and I was like, well, dang it. And then I moved on and then I like ate dinner and I was like, you know.
Will you do a Sapphire and Peta Puricha fusion?
Eventually.
It'll have to happen eventually.
Hang on, wait a second. Oh god. I got spooked. I thought my mom was calling me. Whoops. No, Glucose.
What?
I don't think you're noticing what I'm noticing.
What?
Twisted Disaster's in the chat.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
I had no idea. Now I need to go watch that video after this stream. I had no clue. I feel special.
You have more fucking subscribers than them too.
Well, I think I've done. I might have done YouTube longer though. I think they've actually gone up faster than I have. So this is a very pleasant surprise. I am very glad I streamed. Oh, hello.
Hi. What are your thoughts on the Steven Universe Wanted special?
I kept saying that. I thought it was a very good special. I very much approved. I am in a very good mood. Today has been a good day. Just so you know, if you do watch my video, there's a random audio glitch at the end of it. That's fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I read that in the comments and stuff.
Yeah, I have no idea why, but again, just wow. Today has been amazing. Thank you. Same thing for me. I thought it was gonna kind of suck because I woke up at like 12:30.
Who's your favorite canon off color?
I love them all, honestly. They're all very good.
We just answered that.
Well, people might not see it. I don't know.
I just recommended you to my dentist.
Sure, they love that.
What art program do you use, and art brush do you use when you're on your fusion line art? What brush do you use on your line art, and what program?
I do. It's in Photoshop. It is one of the default brushes, and it's very like what is it called? It looks kind of like a pencil, but that's the one I use. And then actually, when I go back and I color the lines just to help it, so for certain things, I actually use kind of it's like a little watercolory brushy kind of thingy. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll make that. Maybe I don't know why I didn't have this idea before. Maybe I'll make a video where I like reveal all my secret brush tools in Photoshop.
We're getting the musical questions.
Oh goodness.
Have you ever heard of Dear Evan Hansen?
I've seen Dear Evan Hansen on Broadway. Fight me.
Who do you think will be the next fusion in Steven?
No clue.
I'm leaning towards Lapis and Peridot, just because I want to see it.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to see someone fuse with Steve.
I will say that, yeah, I really want to see someone fuse with Steven, honestly.
Who do you think shattered Pink Diamond?
Oh dear, are we gonna go into my big, huge honkin' fan theory?
Do you mean the fan theory we all know about, or...
Hang on, while I make this decision, everyone keep on embarrassing Twisted Disaster Arts. She needs to know how good her art is.
Do you think we should tell them our theory? Or...
I mean...
or an actual, like, story theory?
Okay, I have... Alright.
I'm talking about.
It's funny, because, I have opinion on... I have a very big opinion on, like, theory videos. Part of me doesn't like them, but this is my theory, and it is going solely off of what has been presented in the show. So, oh boy, I'm about to get super all fan theoried up here. Because here's the thing. I hear a lot of people who talk about how they think like, oh, look at how Yellow Diamond snapped. She totally, whatever, like she was accused of murder. She must totally be the murderer. Like, guys, like,
some people just need to defend themselves.
Like, here's the thing.
Accused of murder.
Yeah, here's the thing. Yellow Diamond walked into the room already kind of irritated for good reason that, we're doing a trial where she wants to have it over and done with, but Blue wants to drag it on, and she's just like, you know what, we just shatter her. There's no point in not. So she was already ticked when she walked in the room, and I'm sorry, but any sane person, when being accused of murdering basically your sister figure, would probably snap at you. So I don't understand why people think automatically, oh, she must have done it. Not only that, but how on earth would people have not known, oh, look, it's Yellow Diamond strolling up here. Oh, I guess Rose Court shattered her. Like, I genuinely do not think it was Yellow Diamond. I think she walked in that room irritated. And guess what? If Yellow Diamond's the criminal, Yellow Diamond, as a character to us, has been proven that she is a very kind of uptight, tense character. Remember the face she made when Peridot called her a clod? And how angry she got? Like, obviously she's a very tense person. So, to me, it is not very far off in her character to walk into a room irritated and get pissed off when she's accused of murder. And even Blue, if you look at her, she, like, gasped, and she was taken aback by being accused of this. So, I think that this reaction was not far off, and I don't think that was enough proof to say that Yellow totally shattered Pink Diamond. So, with that being said, here is my theory. So, I'm just taking into consideration all of what Blue Zircon said in her defense case thing. So, in her defense case, she was talking about how it had to be someone who was very close to Pink Diamond in order to shatter her because she had her whole entourage. Not only that, but according to multiple white eyewitnesses, apparently, it was rose quartz for sure that shattered Pink Diamond. You know? Like, so rose quartz, obviously, and now here's the thing. Sure, you could say, well, yeah, eyeballs are ruby, and rubies are obviously shown to be typically not very smart. So, and like in the case that they mistaked amethyst for being jasper, you know, just because she looked like jasper, even if the colors didn't match. But at the same time, if there was like sapphires and smarter gems in her entourage, I think they would have picked up on the fact that the gem that shattered her was anything but pink. So with that in mind, I'm thinking, okay, the gem that shattered her must have been pinked and must have been something important. Now here's where I get into who I think it actually was. So, so here's my thing. When I was listening to Blue Zircon talk the first time, I noticed a very, very weird emphasis. What's the word? Like a very weird emphasis she put on her pearl. And I realized, I realized that Pink Pearl had never been mentioned before this moment. Right now, in this instant where was her pearl to cry out, my diamond, look out? And this is when I had this idea. Because then I was thinking back how apparently I'm assuming before Pink Diamond was shattered, that Renegade Pearl was a thing that everyone knew about. And I suddenly got this idea, and this is totally sidetracked, but I also have a theory that I believe that Pearl was White Diamond's pearl, but anyway. So, my theory is, what if, potentially, for some reason, and my reasoning would be that they were kind of inspired by a certain relative of theirs, what if Pink Pearl shape-shifted into rose quartz and shattered Pink Diamond? Think about it. She would have been pink. She would have been close enough to not be of suspicion. She could have shapeshifted into Rose and then shapeshifted out, and everyone's like, look, that's Rose that shattered. Now, I personally believe that would because she was inspired by our Pearl, who was a renegade and could fight, and she's thinking, hey, if she's free, I don't want to be in this slaver anymore. So she was inspired to do that. And then she shapeshifted out of it, and she's like, oh no, my diamond has been shattered. So that's my theory, because I don't, that's even another thing. They would have the same gem placement, if we're going off the canon of the pearls having the same placement as their diamonds. So that is my theory, because I could not get behind it, people saying, oh, it's totally Yellow Diamond. Because just to me, it just didn't make any sense, you know? Especially with how Yellow Diamond had been acting all the way up. And plus, it just didn't make sense with her singing about Blue, not being sad about it, and yet she got sad about it, and yet apparently she's the murderer? And plus, what kind of motive would Yellow Diamond have made? Not only that, but people like to... another thing is that she didn't... Somebody even said once, like, oh, she wanted to kill... I've heard this elsewhere, but like... Yellow Diamond, like, wanted to kill Pink Diamond because she wanted the Earth, you know? But here's the thing. She planted the cluster in the Earth and was just ready to forget about that place and hope it just died. As according to the talk she had with Peridot. She said, just let it hatch and destroy the world. There's no reason to keep it around. So obviously, there's no way she could have just killed her sister figure for no reason. And it couldn't have been because of the Earth. Because why on earth would she kill her for the Earth and then decide, no, I just want that scrap of rock to die? She emphasized that. I want it to die. So, and then that added on to the fact that it just doesn't make sense conceptually of like, how on earth could she have shapeshifted to be rose quartz if she was yellow and then nobody pick up on that at all? And then, you know, the whole matter of fact, like, it just doesn't, whatever, you know? And I'm probably not going to make this a theory video because I don't really like theory videos in general, there's other reasons for that, not just the theory videos in general. I actually do like theories, and I have watched, there's theory videos I enjoy. Steven Universe theories, there's a whole other thing about that, in all honesty. But, so, that is my brilliant theory, you know, like, so yeah, that's kind of what I think. I just thought, you know, we've never heard Pink Pearl until she was very strangely emphasized by Blue Zircon, and we've never heard her mentioned beforehand. And she would have been pink. She would have had the same gem placement. There is a possible motive she could have had, unless there's a motive we don't know about. So, yeah, that's my theory on that. So, yeah, that's who I think shattered Pink Diamond, in all honesty.
Can I tell you about a picture? It wasn't necessarily a theory, but it was a drawing of it. And it was Blue Zircon who shattered Pink Diamond. And I was like, it would make sense. Because the Pink Diamond goes, it was you, and Blue Zircon's like, nobody would ever believe you.
Whew.
And honestly, no one would, because Zircons are just lawyers. Like, they aren't really made for shattering or attacking people. No one would believe that a Blue Zircon shattered Pink Diamond. And Blue Zircon could just say, Rose Quartz did it.
Yeah. But yeah, it is kind of my thing. And I mean, that would make sense too, like on the whole Pearl theory, because no one would think a Pearl would be capable of that. I mean, even though there was Renegade Pearl, but like, who on earth would think that, oh, her Pearl could have shattered her? Like, no one would have thought of that, you know? So, that's kind of what I think about that.
I like the Pink Pearl shattered her, or Blue Zircon, just because of how ridiculous it sounds.
Right?
Because it's just like, oh, I mean, that could have worked, yeah.
You never know.
How does one draw the curl hair? I don't know. I can't.
I just draw. I like drawing hair, but hey.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Wonder Woman. Do people that live around you guys light fireworks like 3 days after the 4th of July? And before?
I actually went, when I watched fireworks, I sat out by my old middle school, and from where I sat, we could see 3 fireworks shows. Like, they were in the distance, but we could see them. I don't think there's any way that Pink Pearl shattered Pink Diamond unless she was in/affiliated with the rebellion. What if she was kind of upset that she was a slave?
Yeah.
Or what if she even wanted to be in the rebellion?
Like regular Pearl.
Yeah, like, there's totally a reason. How could it possibly make sense that Rose Quartz, a gem who bubbled bismuth because she was a radical, who wanted to shatter all the homeworld gems, suddenly decided to shatter a diamond? I mean, sure, it could be believed that she did it because she thought it was the right thing, the only thing to do, but still, it's a weird thing that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, so.
Also, where do you think Pink Pearl is now?
Exactly.
I want to believe that it's the Pink Pearl and Rhodochrosite.
Rhododo?
Our off-colored gem. It would be so good, because they'd unfuse and then it'd be like, I have something to tell you.
Well, they wouldn't have the same gem placement, though.
I know.
Rhodonite's gem is on her chest, so.
Arctic said, do either of you like Mario? So, if you could make your own power-up, what would it be?
I'm gonna like Mario.
I wouldn't make one, but I like the power-up from Mario Party, where you turn into 3 of the pixely Marios or whatever.
I agree.
I like that one. Yeah. The only issue I have with your theory is the eyewitness accounts that Pink had stepped out. Would they not notice Rose come out of the palanquin?
Well, yeah, but she could have ducked somewhere and then shapeshifted and then quickly shattered her and disappeared somewhere else.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and plus, again, then that goes back to how on earth would they have not noticed that a yellow rose quartz suddenly came running up and shattered Pink Diamond? I shall argue your claims of my logic being illogical with more illogical logic.
Do you also want to tell them about Quan, all of our canon for Pink Diamond? We can tell them.
I suppose the secret must be revealed.
Eventually.
I guess it is time to tell you that Pink Diamond was a fusion all along.
Yes.
I still need to color that picture. Yeah.
Pink Diamond is actually a fusion.
Context. I had a thing where I wanted to fuse Lavender Diamond, Magenta Diamond, me and Quan's Diamond characters, and I had the... I realized, well, let's see, Magenta's like a dark pink, basically, a dark reddish pink. Lavender's like a pale purple. Wouldn't they make pink? And so I thought, like, Pink Diamond, dun dun dun. So that was my joke. So that was a joke we've had going for a little while.
If Lavender and Magenta fuse, it will be a Pink Diamond.
Yeah, I had a sketch, didn't need to finish it, but yeah. It was a joke I made, like, Pink Diamond's a fusion, they don't even have the same gem placements, but who cares?
You know what would be silly?
What?
If we fused the blood diamonds and then fuse it with magenta, because it'll just be another red.
Well, it'd just be like a weird, like, hot pink.
It would just be a weird hot pink.
Like a reddish hot pink. What even does purple and red make? Or lavender and red, I guess.
Lavender and red? I guess it would be magenta. It's a loop.
It's an endless loop of hell.
Let me open up Psy and mess around.
Do it.
Because I don't think it's that far off. Lavender. It makes...
Ooh,
yeah,
Tara
it
Kent.
actually kind of does.
Make magenta?
Here, give me a second.
Dead. Tara Kent asked, who's your favorite Seven Sins and a Baby character that's been introduced? Answer with their respective color, please. I.e. the 12-year-old being blue. I've said this, I think I said this earlier, but I'll say it again because, hey. I very much love I will forever call it by the quote that Quan called it because I love it, is, quote, golden eyeliner hottie, unquote, who's the yellow one, who is a prick. I strangely love him a lot. If I had to pick a second favorite, though, it would probably be either blue 12-year-old or one who hasn't been introduced yet, so... Glucose knows who it is because Glucose insulted them without realizing it once. Anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, it's that
sorry.
one. I'm never letting it go.
So they actually both kind of make pink. So it's just the blood diamonds with lavender make a like redder pink.
So magenta.
Yeah, kind of.
Pip Pop, if there was one Steven Universe OC of yours that could be canon, which one would it be? Honestly, I can't resist in saying that I would have loved it if any of them could have been canonical. Having my little armless amethyst would have been adorable. That probably would have been the only one that would actually translate well into the animation, but hey.
There.
Are the villains based on the 7 heavenly virtues? Not the main one. Coughs.
I wonder what gender lust will be. We know.
I wish I knew that either.
What's your favorite Steven Universe episode?
Ooh, good question. I have to say the episode that I think was probably the funniest, just in concept alone, was Rocknaldo. I just thought it was funny in concept. My favorite one, I don't know. Again, you guys know me. I have favorite things for different reasons.
You should see what Tiny said in our private chat.
Oh dear. I'm reading this. It totally makes magenta anyway. What'd she say? Okay, Tiny, don't you dare tell anyone else, but yes. You are correct in that. Don't tell anyone else, though. Spoilers. Oh, I need to answer this, though. Hey, TheZodiacLord, which out of all of your OCs are the best to draw / most fun to draw? I'd have to say Kunahumite is probably the most relaxing gem or the character I have I can draw, just because she's so simple and everyone knows how much I love blending. Of all my characters, those the most fun. Because I know there's one that I enjoy drawing a lot, and I really should draw more. I know it's like on the tip of my tongue. I'm pretty sure it's a Ludiverse character. I'm pretty sure, as with most of them would be. Because I have that big of an ego.
What's your favorite song from the Steven Universe soundtrack?
Stronger Than You will always have a place in my heart. You can tell how hard I'm trying to remember who it is.
My favorite's probably Here Comes a Thought. We both like songs sung by Garnet.
Garnet's got a good voice.
I actually really like It's Over, Isn't It? Just because it made me like Pearl a little bit more.
The person who asked me which was the most fun and to draw said, yes, I'm making you pick between your children. Oh, goodness. I don't know. Sometimes it depends on the scenario. I guess... Oh, you know what? I do know. I've said this before. It's that I need to draw him a lot more. Solar is probably, at the very least, I love drawing his hair with a burning passion. Solar is fun to draw, in my opinion. Or at the very least, his hair is. And I'm going to be drawing more than him, especially because, like, flippin', I said that joke once that, like, he would totally, if he had to, if it required a disguise, he would wear dresses and he would rock them. And I need to draw that just for some memes. But, you know, anyway. So, have any of you guys played Breath of the Wild? I want to! My brother and I, we want actually to get a Nintendo Switch. And eventually when I can actually get my YouTube months, actually out of my thing, we said that I might actually invest in possibly buying, at the very least, Breath of the Wild, because that looks like a fun game and I want to play it. Anyway, so yeah.
I really want a Switch, but it's probably not going to happen for a while.
Yeah. Also, yes, that pun about drawing Solar's hair with a burning passion was indeed a purposeful pun. Fight me. Anyway, so.
Who's your fave reviewed character? I'm thinking one you've reviewed.
I'm assuming that, yeah. My favorite reviewed character. I feel like I'm about to insult people. I guess I have to say probably Blaze, currently. I haven't actually reviewed too terribly many, but I thought Blaze was pretty fun. I just like the concept of them, so.
I liked the Aquamarine. I think that was my favorite one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, video, yeah, I think that was my favorite one. I can never replicate it because it took way too long to do those. I will say this, though. Not to spoil anything, but the creator and I actually ended up talking because she found my video a few months after it was up. And we ended up talking about it, and she's actually changed her character a lot, and she offered me to possibly do something, so... there's something in the works behind the scenes. Yeah, Aquamarine, even the old Aquamarine, will always have a place in my heart because she was the first review, and it was great. You go eat dinner. We might still be here.
If you had Steven's mind control powers for a week, who would you possess? What he did with Lars, basically.
Oh, yeah. Body switching, I guess. I don't know.
It can be anybody. Fictional or real.
Oh, fiction or real?
Yeah.
Ooh. Totally Vanessa, because I'd love to screw with everyone. That or Infinity, because she's just powerful. Kay Gleason asked, which deadly sin are you guys? I'm sloth hardcore. Not even because it's not this the thing like, haha, I'm a procrastinator. No, it's like genuinely, it probably would get me killed. Like, in actuality. That or, yeah, probably sloth, honestly.
I want to hear your opinion on what I am, because I do not know.
I was gonna say, like, the first thing I was gonna say was, like, possibly wrath, but you're just not angry enough, I don't think. Well, I guess you don't have to be angry. I guess you don't have to be angry. Damn. You can tell what I'm thinking when I start clicking my tongue a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'd have to say the closest one I could think of would be wrath, potentially. I don't know. I can't... It's a weird thing because a lot of it has to do with, believe it or not, when it comes to, like, what your deadly sin is, it has a lot to do with, like, inner psychology and personal stuff. Like, my brother, believe it or not, he will tell you he is one sin, but from my own third-party perspective, he is not that sin. He's actually probably the least coolest one you can be called. I don't know. So, yeah. Is golden eyeliner haughty pride? I refuse to answer these questions. I will not be answering them. Trust me, whenever the 7th one comes in, he's gonna name drop all of them in like 2 pages. Like, single-handedly name drop all of them because he's cool enough to do that. Anyway, have you guys watched 7 Deadly Sins? I have. I enjoyed it very much, but I started watching the 2nd season, and I enjoyed it very less. It started to feel way too I felt like the story was becoming a bit and I wasn't liking how much it started to become too much fan service for me. Teeny tiny, I swear to God.
I wonder who the pink one.
Silence.
Shh.
Secrets.
Shh. Plot twist: Zodiac is all of the sins combined as a.
I swear.
I accept that I am wrath. I'm pretty angry.
Yeah, you're kind of angry. I mean, what would Quan's be? Let's just talk about Quan without her being here. But what would Quan's be? Can we just...
I don't know.
Hang on, I don't want to do this because it's kind of personal, but I'll type it in the chat for you.
I was thinking lust or gluttony.
Hang on, let me see this.
Who needs sins when you're Satan?
I sent you something.
I don't know.
I mean, possibly, I could see it.
I think she's kind of in the middle of gluttony and... I'm only saying greed because of how many freaking
How many
characters
adults she has?
He has so many characters.
Hey,
she has
I do
over
too.
100.
I do too. Excuse me.
She has over 100.
I have almost 200.
I think Quan has more than she lets on.
I think she said she does. But I mean, hey, come on. I have many characters. In fact, I'm wondering if I could, like, I would list them all, but I know, like, half of I don't talk about most of them because I like keeping them on the down low for whenever one day, like, I know there's one story that I'm probably never gonna talk about very heavily online because I want to do something with it and I want to, like, let it just to be developed kind of in silence until I kind of develop it more and stuff like that. But, I could just, like, start name dropping characters and a lot of them would be side characters, but there's a lot of characters and a lot of them don't even have names.
Can I just say this?
Yeah.
Grace is no sin.
What?
Grace is too pure.
Yeah, Grace is no sin.
She has no sin.
Her sin is that she is not a sin.
She's
no the sins. Angel. She's Angel.
She is the angel.
She's the angel.
If anyone's lost, it's Moira. Look at that art.
To be honest. No offense, Moira, if you're watching this in the future. You probably aren't, but hey.
It's not supposed to be offensive. I like most of her
There's
art.
nothing wrong with being with sinning a bit.
Universe a book.
What would Clay's deadly sin be? Clay's sin is that he's Clay. Is the baby named Angel? Yes, the baby's named Angel, for purely ironic purposes.
You got it. I don't think Clay has a deadly sin. He's
Honestly.
just Clay.
Yeah, exactly. His deadly sin is that he's Clay.
People making the stream, please say nya. Nya.
What if Clay died and Lust is pink and has a mouth on her dress? I don't understand the question. I also am purposely... You know what's funny? I wasn't actually going to hide what everyone's sin was. But then I realized that people were making theories on it, and I was like, you know what? I want to do the same thing I did with Ametrine and just annoy people.
If you could spend one day as any fictional character, who would it be and why?
I can't help it. I have too big of an ego. It would totally be Vanessa.
I knew it was gonna be a Luniverse.
I can't help it. I love Luniverse. I'm trash for my own story.
Do you watch Ouran High School Host Club?
Yes. I love that.
I've watched it 10 times.
I love that anime. It's a good anime.
It needs a season where it shows the senior year.
Yes.
We need that. I love everyone saying, yeah. Zodiac sins is that he is the goddamn devil in disguise. If you could dye your hair, what color/style would you dye it?
If I had to dye my hair, I would probably dye it. There's many different beautiful colors in the world. You're making me pick between colors? Anyway.
I've already dyed my hair like 4 colors. I'm gonna be dyeing it red soon.
I mean, honestly, my own opinion, I say, like... Because someone said I'm trash for my own story if this isn't me. Honestly, in my own opinion, you gotta be passionate. The nice way of saying that I just have a big ego for my own stuff is that I just really very much am very passionate.
You gotta love your story to keep it going.
Yeah, that is true. You're never going to be able to make a really good story unless you really want to make it good and you love it a lot, you know?
Ever had a character made by someone else that you had to draw and wish was yours?
I guess the most recent one I drew, the Gigi. I like that one a lot. That one's a cutie. But I guess it is alright because I'm getting a very beautiful pearl in exchange for it, so it's fine.
Have Smokey sing Tower of Mistakes. There's not gonna be singing. We sang in another one a while ago.
Yeah. It takes way too much mental preparation.
Yeah. It physically drains us to do it. Like me just talking right now, I'm anxious.
Which Pad Paradshow would you rather spend the day with? Your Permafusion, Fuse Day Tuesday, or Canon? Canon probably because Permafusion Fuse Day Tuesday would be too big for me.
I love Canon.
She's cute. Although I won't lie, it might get a little irritating after a bit an hour, potentially. But, you know. I still love her nonetheless.
Forgot to send some points for my thing.
Can I put multiple eyes on a non-fusion? I mean, 2 counts as multiple.
I think 3 is the most.
Yeah, I think, well, because I think that honestly, like, if they can have Cyclopses, like, I don't think Triclopses are too out of the realm of possibility. I think anything beyond that, though, might be a little bit much, I guess, but, you know. If I could fuse with any gem, canon or non-canon, what would it be? I'd fuse with flippin' Clinohumite. Lava powers. Fight me.
If I could fuse with any gem, it would probably be Amethyst. Like Canon Amethyst.
Yeah.
But it would turn out something like Smoky Quartz, because self-hate.
Don't do that.
It's already happened.
Stop.
Name one of your OCs for me to draw.
I don't do that. Fan art to me should be purely done because you want to do it.
Where do you find most of your gems for your gem sonas and fusions?
I find them somewhere. I'm sorry, I like this. Can I fuse Opalite Ombre Gypsy and Blue Eyeliner 12-year-old together? That'd be quite the fusion. For even more reasons that you don't even know. And I just like the Opalite Ombre Gypsy. Oh my goodness.
Opinion on courtship. What is a courtship?
Like, do you mean courtship as in the old-fashioned term for basically dating, or something else?
What about...
So does this mean I can make fan art of your gems? Sounds like a plan. You guys, really, if you want to make fan art, flippin' do it. I ain't ever gonna force anyone to make fan art, and if you want to, do it. Honestly, I don't even understand why people feel the need to ask.
Don't
like, hell
ask.
yeah, do fan art.
Just do it.
Exactly.
We'll always accept it.
Yeah.
Hi, hey, how do I not die in the middle of school?
You got me. I answered this earlier, but why did you choose Moonstone as your gemsona? Because me and my brother wanted 2 gems to be a duo together, and Sunstone and Moonstone seemed like the perfect duo to do it.
White pearl plus pink pearl equals... just a lighter pink pearl, I guess. Who is the biggest cinnamon roll? Clinohumite, Blue Topaz, Steven, Morganite, or Perry?
If being honest, just considering, like, I would have said Steven, but considering what he's done, he's gone through, I don't want to, like, pick my characters and feel like I have an even bigger ego than I already have. I'd say Clino because, well, actually, Clino is a cinnamon roll that could probably kill you if without realizing it. Blue Topaz isn't necessarily the biggest cinnamon roll. She's more like, I don't know, she's a cinnamon roll who thinks she can kill you. Ah, jeez. I guess Perry isn't the biggest because I think she's like, again, she's like the cinnamon roll who thinks she can kill you. I guess Steven, I guess, would have to be the biggest cinnamon roll.
Why does Blue Topaz like Morganite?
Because she likes Morganite.
That's really all you have to say.
Yeah. To me, honestly, you don't need too much to like someone. You just gotta like them.
Would you date any of your gems? If so, who?
Probably Ametrine, honestly. Just because Ametrine is like, Ametrine would protect me.
Ametrine's pretty good.
Honestly, I've never been like had a significant other before, but I'd probably, if I'm being honest, I might be somewhat high maintenance. I don't know. I don't know. But I'd say Ametrine. Ametrine would probably be a good girlfriend.
Let me... I don't know who I would date, actually. I don't remember. Was it just gems, or was it any character?
I think it was gems.
I have one.
Bornite.
No! Bornite's my child. It would be Polyhedroid Agate.
Ah, yeah. I like
she
her.
needs to be taken care of.
Yeah.
She can't see.
Are you gonna continue the
arm.
Are you gonna continue the Luniverse port? It's been a while, but I don't want to stress you. I am. Again, I'm trying to get other things out of the way, and I do them on my computer. And typically, when I'm on my computer, I'm working on other things. So, yeah. The next two, I actually have decided because it's been so long. This totally isn't because I can't resist. I can't take these guys not being together. Their dynamic duo-ness. I'm going to be doing the next two together.
How do I make high quality PB&J?
You make it. You go look at my old tutorial. Make a classy sandwich.
Anyone, please answer. How does one buy a sexy anime body pillow for a birthday? You make a new account. You make a totally new account, and then you buy it, and you send it to their house, and then you delete your history.
Wait, hang on. What meme from a live stream would you delete? Tasty Boy is off the table. The French dude was the tastiest boy. I'm never letting it go. I would delete the whole... I guess, well, one of them I'm thinking of is already kind of deleted. So, I won't count that, but probably either anything having to do with dad or daddy, because that makes me very uncomfortable, or the purple sec thing, because that just kind of got old.
That got old really fast.
Yeah, it got old really fast, in all honesty.
How old are you guys? How long have you been drawing?
I am 16, and I have been drawing since I think I earned some dexterity in my hands.
I am 19, and I've been drawing since I was like 3, and I colored the walls all the way up as high as I could go.
I was always a doodler.
Can we erase tiny zodiacs?
Yeah, let's read some tiny zodiacs. I think it was one of those things. It was really funny at first.
All of the memes that come from Zodiac streams are really funny at first, and then people overuse them. I'm sorry, kids. You
it's
really
just
do
the cold hard
memes.
truth. The more you overuse a joke. I like me some fresh memes.
How long are you staying on?
No clue. You know, I'll go till 9. So in like 15 minutes.
15 more minutes.
Or probably beyond that, honestly, knowing me, but hey.
Zodiac will probably go till 10 o'clock.
You never know.
Grilled cheese or PB&J?
PB&J? Why do you even need to ask?
We've been opposed.
Oh, also, I have a question for you guys. I forgot I was gonna ask it. We're gonna turn this Q&A stream onto you. I'm thinking about possibly changing up my persona a little bit, and I know what I'm gonna do to change it up. But I had a question. Would you rather keep? Do you think I should keep with the color blue, or if I should switch to potentially purple and yellow? Possibly. Or some kind of mix of the two.
Favorite color.
Those are like my two favorite colors, one of them being my favorite color combination. Fight me!
Well, if I can answer this question. I think how it is, the colors, how they are fine. They go well together.
Alright.
Really, you'll just be changing the, like, shirt color, right? Shirt.
If I change the colors, kind of, but I'm actually changing my, like, Sona, kind of, and I'm gonna add, it's mostly just adding stuff.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying blue.
Yeah, alright, we'll keep it blue. I was just thinking, because when I redesigned it, I wasn't sure if I should, like, change up the colors as well, or if I should just stick it blue, because I know what I'm gonna do. I'm basically just adding more details to make them look fancier, because I don't actually, believe it or not, I don't actually enjoy drawing my Sona very much. I feel like it's just kind of boring. And also, I don't...
Drawing yourself is boring.
Yeah, it's just kind of boring, but, like, I thought, so I decided I was going to spice up my Sona. It's still going to have, like, my same face and stuff like that, but I'm going to be, like... Basically, to put it simply, I'm going to be playing more off the Lord part of my name, as well as adding some more Zodiac into there. Basically, like I'm going to look fancy. Anyway.
It's like in art class when your teacher's like, here's a mirror, draw yourself. And it's like, I don't want to do this.
But why?
I don't want to draw myself. They make you do that at my school, in art class. Teacher was like, here's a mirror, draw yourself. What's your favorite color? It's kind of on the screen right now.
My favorite color, I would have to say, I guess, is blue. But my favorite color combination, because me being an artist, is purple and gold. Especially when it comes to shading and lighting.
Teeny, we're not even close to the... Teeny said 10 more minutes. We'll go however long we want to go. It just depends. Will you ever sell some merch?
When I kind of figure out how. I don't know why, but it feels like more complicated than it needs to be for me. I dropped it again! Anyway. I'm gonna get it. Hang on. Ninja! I don't know. There is actually a specific kind of merch I'm thinking about doing whenever I get maybe a little bit bigger, I guess, of something I could do that I thought might be kind of cool with how to do it, but hey.
Quan.
What is Quan doing?
Quan sent me a Snapchat, and it was just like her outside and her screaming, it's raining over there.
It's raining here too.
It's not raining here, because I'm all the way across the country.
Yay! When you draw Chrome and Virus's portraits, will you draw them together or force yourself to draw them apart? I will force myself to draw them separately.
No, just keep them together. They
well,
have
no,
to
just
be together.
For the aesthetic reason, but I'm going to be drawing them back to back.
Good.
Because the thing is, I will actually be honest with it. Their entire, like, concept is based on the fact that they are both characters that on their own may not be that interesting, but, like, with each other, whew, it's a mess. So that was like kind of their thing. Because I just hate having them apart. They need to be together. And it's weird because every time I say that, it makes it sound like they're like a romantic couple, even though they will never be a ship in my eyes. Because I see them more as brothers. But like, hey.
Would Stevani ever become an option for Fuse Day Tuesday?
Maybe eventually, but like I've said before, I don't want to add anything to the polls right now. There's so many characters. There's like Ruby and Jasper and then Topaz, but Topaz is actually going to win. For the next one, spoilers. But Jasper and Ruby have never even fused once. So, in my eyes, I'm thinking, why would I add more canon characters when there's two that haven't even fused? And that's not even including all my flipping characters, because honestly, I don't really count my characters into that, because that just makes me feel even more egotistical. But hey.
For some reason, people do not like to put Ruby in ships and fuses.
Well, because it's like, everyone's like, oh yeah, Sapphire X anyone fusion, but Ruby X anyone fusion, whatever. And I'm like, but why?
I made fan art of you and put a zodiac wheel on your shirt. Is that okay?
That'd be cool. Do that.
Yeah.
Do it. You get free reign of your fan art.
Okay, Nanny, are we just helping you make a sandwich? Because you've asked multiple questions about sandwich. It can be any type of toast.
Oh my god, Ruby said Ruby needs to be fused with someone. She's so precious. Come on, guys. Aw. Before the stream ends, I will say that you are my muse, my awesome, quirky, lovable muse. Well, thank you.
Sweet, salty, or buttery popcorn? Salty and buttery.
Salty and buttery.
Yeah. I don't like sweet popcorn. Like, kettle corn?
Me neither.
It's gross. Or like candy-coated popcorn, it's gross. Wait, is it raining men? I hope not. Strawberry jam or grape jelly? Grape jelly.
Grape jelly. You uncultured swine.
I need help making sandwiches. Just pick something. Boneless pizza.
Boneless pizza. I love me some boneless pizza.
Oh. Hi, Quan. She's in the chat. Not
Quan?
in the stream chat, but she's in our chat.
Quan! Hey, Quan. We stream.
Quan's in spirit.
Yeah.
She's here in spirit.
What would happen if the rebellion met the Luniverse? Death.
That would not go well.
That is a huge group of like a rebellion army meeting a group of 10 people. I was about to say 9, but Chrome's not really that powerful. About like 8 super powerful people. That would not end well. Especially because 3 of them are villains. Anyway, so, you know.
Ruby fused with Peridot. She's your size. I really like Kitsune's version of Ruby and Peridot fusion. If you've seen it. It's the little... kind of the horse legs with the
it's got the alien mask.
Yeah, I love it. What's your opinion on pineapple pizza?
Chinema, no. I swear to God.
I don't like pineapple on pizza. No sweet things on salty things. If it's buttery and salty, you should not put sweet stuff in it. Con said, wow, rude. They said we were streaming.
It's been going on for like 2.5 hours.
No crust. I'm helping you make your sandwich, but no crust.
I swear to God. Who's your favorite Luniverse character design-wise? Okay. Damn. Design-wise, can I even say Solar again? Because I like Solar's design a lot.
You can say whatever you want. It's
I'm gonna
your
say Solar. Of the
it's
main 10 of them,
yours.
though, I'd say I enjoy either Vanessa or Jay's, but I like Solar's. Adrian Howard, I don't know how my Konohamite would meet your Snowflake Obsidian exactly. That's not really how that works. I mean, you're free to do
Yeah.
fan art of that happening, but like, that's not how it works with me.
Black olives on pizza. What's your opinion?
What brand of peanut butter? I don't know. What do you have around?
I hate peanut butter, so I can't say anything. I really don't like peanut butter. I hate the smell. And if I taste it, my throat gets itchy. And people swear I'm not allergic to peanut butter, but I beg to differ.
MNV Kawi is asked how is life. Life is pretty good.
Death. My life is death.
Adrian Howard, it's because I don't really do that. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Would you ever tell your followers to post one gemsona and you would make a fusion between them and your character?
I want to do that for a thing like a little thing, but again, like I've said before, I can't add any more distractions for my commissions and stuff like that.
Whenever you have time, you should do a fuse-a-thon.
I will. Trust me, that is one thing on my list. I want to do a thing where I can like take you guys' gemstones and kind of like try and do fusions with some of them. I will not be able to do all of them. Trust me, I will not be able to do all of them. But I would love to like do that at some point, you know? But again, I don't want to add any distractions, just more distractions because I have people who paid me money for things and I need to get that to them. And I've already taken way too long. Which is why I constantly acknowledge it so they know that I have not forgotten.
If any of you want to fuse with mine, I'll do that.
Yeah, go fuse with Glucose's. Glucose got some sassy gems.
Sassy?
I call everything sassy. Don't judge me.
I think the only one that would be sassy is Appetite. At GlucoseGuard.
Anything can be sassy.
Thank you for helping me with my blood diamond court thing. Yeah, I got you. I'm the main runner of that group. Why wouldn't I help you?
Anything can be sassy if you try hard enough. Anyway.
Spicy. I have a purple Appetite.
You also have Bornite.
I also have Bornite.
We also got an Aquamarine trio, but they're not allowed to fuse with anyone.
They're only allowed to fuse with each other.
Exactly.
I fused Zodiac's Bornite with my Bornite. It's interesting. It's very not clean because it was the first time using Psy, but can a tasty boy be sassy? Yeah.
Yes. Anything can be sassy if you try hard enough. Believe me, I know. I have 7 characters in one story who are all as equally sassy in their own ways. They do not. Their group name does not start with an S. Doesn't include D's and another S. Screw 9. I'm doing it for a few more minutes. Fight me. Is this even a Q&A anymore? Can I even call this a Q&A anymore?
Not really.
It started out as a Q&A and now it's just me, like, being dumb.
Do you like hot dogs? If so, what do you put on them?
I just like putting ketchup and sometimes cheese on them.
Same.
Yay.
Purple appetite like the gem, yes. What would happen if the rebellion split up, like Marvel Civil War?
Ooh, that would be strange. That would probably, honestly, thinking about it, I feel like that scenario would happen if Moonstone and Sunstone got in a slight disagreement and
Yeah.
everyone picked sides. But then they'd all make up and have a party afterwards.
What if that happens and Ametrine has to split up?
Oh no! That would be great, but that'd be terrible.
It would be terrible, but it would be great.
It'd be like Ruby and Sapphire when they had their argument.
Yeah.
And they'd be super passive aggressive with each other.
Amethyst and Citrine would split up and they would be like, God damn it. I'm trying to make a pearl for one of my gem sonas. She's green, and I'm stuck. Any ideas?
Like, I'm assuming you mean stuck in the sense of, like, you don't know what to do with the design. Just, I would say kind of look and try and gain a little bit of inspiration from, like, the canon, because that's always just a good way to go, is kind of looking at the canon and how that kind of works. But also just kind of, like, taking the gem they're supposed to be made for and just kind of thinking, like, if I were to, like, pearlify this gem, what would I do? You know, like, just kind of make something that is almost, like, in the vibe of it. Like you were inspired by that character, if that makes any sense. That's what I did with, like, some of, like, my, like, Morganite's Pearl, for example.
A lot of people, I don't see a lot of green gems, honestly.
I don't either. There's, like, never any green gems ever. People don't like green.
I like green.
I do too.
My mom likes green.
I do too. I don't know why people don't really like green that much.
Tomato soup or chicken noodle. Chicken noodle. Stop asking us what you should have for dinner or lunch.
I have no answers for you. I don't know what I want for dinner or lunch ever.
I has a question. How do you draw? Like, at all?
I just
You just do it.
I do.
Green is not a creative color.
Fight me!
Blue, red, green. Green is not a creative color.
Would you have a Jasperosi, and if so, what type? Technically, I have two, but I can't talk about them. So, and technically, if we're going to count agates and jaspers being of similar or same variety, there is also an agate that I have, whom is not a very big important character, but she exists.
Zodiac?
So.
What if Amethyst cheated on Citrine? What would happen?
Wouldn't be fun for me. What do you think of a gem rebellion entirely made up of rose quartzes? I think that's a funny image.
It's just all rose quartzes.
Just nothing but pink.
Stop asking food-related questions.
Stop this. This is not a good meme.
What's your favorite animal?
Next question.
Mine is a lizard.
Okay, I'll pick one. I'll pick one for the sake of picking one. I like red pandas. Red pandas are cute. There's also a lot of fish that I find really cool.
Make this stream go on for 24 hours. We will die at the 10 hour.
No.
I would die.
I would too.
I can actually go 24 hours. It's just
I just
don't
don't.
do it often.
I'm not gonna lie. This is not for you guys, but I have other stuff I need to do. Blobfish are beautiful creatures. Stop hating on the blobfish.
Pasta. More scary stories, creepypasta, do you like?
I like scary stories. I actually like certain creepypastas. Believe it or not, not a lot of the really popular ones apparently, but I like a lot of the more like ones that no one ever talks about. Stuff like I like a lot of like deep web ones for some reason. I find them very oddly fascinating.
How would you think the Famethyst fused with Ametrine would look? The whole Famethyst.
That would be... Honestly, there's a lot more Famethyst than you think there is if we're counting every amethyst in that episode. So it would be hell.
It would... Technically, wouldn't it still be a citrine? Because...
Yeah. It'd still be an ametrine, yeah. Because it'd just be very...
How would it look?
Be hell. That's what it would be.
Hell. Armethyst is adorable.
I agree.
I agree.
She's so cute. I love her. This is why I kept her.
How does one write a sibling relationship to unrelated characters?
You just
You write them as siblings, but they're not siblings.
Yeah, like having like a mother figure or a sibling figure. It's like, you know, it's not actually as complicated as you would think because you just write them like they were siblings. That's where you get the vibe of a sibling relationship.
If you write them as siblings, they're gonna come off as siblings. But
even if they're not related.
They're not siblings.
I know this is like anecdotal evidence, but I should know that writing characters that aren't related, if you want them to seem like they are like relative figures, Luniverse has a lot of characters with different mother parental figures and sibling figures, particularly Felicity. So if it wasn't evident by the people who follow me on DA and saw my sketch of her family. Anyway. But, yeah. So you just kind of write them as they would be. Like, I think if I can think of it, it's like Vanessa had a mother figure because her mom died. Because stuff and things.
Do you play video games?
What?
Do you play video games?
Of course
and
I play.
If so, your favorite one?
Sims all the way, mate.
I started Persona 3, and I really like it. Did you know that penguins have knees? Yes.
Yes. Technically speaking, if we're going to be technical here, if you actually look at the bone structures of most animals have the exact same joints we would, it's just they're all rearranged and reshaped in different ways.
Do you think a rebellion led by a pearl would work well?
If you write it, it probably would. Why wouldn't it? I don't know what I'm even doing with my voice. I'm doing something weird with it.
Would you... I'm supposing you're saying, would you make a chocolate diamond character for the chocolate diamond court?
Are we... Is there a chocolate diamond court that I don't know about?
I don't know.
Hi, Twisted, by the way. I see that you're back.
Did you know that there are more nipples on this planet than human beings? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, logically there would have to be.
Most people have 2 nipples, some have 3.
Yeah, not only that, but then you count, like, animals.
Yeah. Just like counting all of the dog nipples would be more than anybody on the earth.
Yeah. Technically speaking, there's a lot of things. Like, there's probably more arms and legs than there are people on Earth.
Yeah. Favorite Persona 3 character so far? Junpei! I know he's like kind of an asshole, but I love Junpei because I love the voice actor. It's the voice actor of the English version of Tamaki and Ed from Fullmetal Alchemist, and I love him. I love Junpei.
What's your fave alpha kid and pre-scratch troll?
Oh.
Wait.
Can we say our own? Because I know.
I do
I know
too.
who that is.
My favorite alpha kid, if we're referring to ours, is Clay, because again, ego. And my favorite pre-scratch troll. We don't have any of the pre-scratch trolls. Spoilers.
I thought we had one.
We have mine,
Oh yeah, we do have yours.
but I think that was it. Yeah, I think we only have Zania.
We've got to make our pre-scratch kid.
We're still waiting on Grace.
Grace is doing her best.
I know. I'm not saying that she's not doing her best, but we're still waiting on Grace.
She's
It's just.
trying.
It's not me. It's not criticism. It's a statement. It is a fact. If you could date any fictional character, who would you choose? Okay, just because I answer with so many of my characters, I'm gonna prevent myself from answering with my characters this time. And I don't know. Ah, dang. I don't know.
If I had to choose one of my gemstones, it'd probably be Bornite. You see, I didn't choose Bornite to date because Bornite is me, except without the rhyming.
Yeah, except that you don't have to rhyme.
I don't have to rhyme. Do I hear Homestuck? Yeah, you do.
You do. We are very open Homestuck trash, I'm not gonna lie.
We accept it. What is the meaning of life? 42.
Yes.
I'm not helping you with food. How much do you charge people for drawings?
I can't say because whenever I actually reopen commissions, those prices are gonna go way up, so. I'm gonna end this soon, I think, but, you know. I mean, I already have one video that I seem to really need to watch, so.
Is that a reference? Because I've heard that a lot. You mean 42? 42 is from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where they ask a robot what's the meaning of life, and the robot says 42. The meaning of life is 42.
Oh my god, ZodiacLord, hi. I love all your gems and fusions and everything. You're my hero. Well, thank you. I don't. I think there's a lot of more respectable people to be your hero, but you know, I appreciate it nonetheless. I'm flattered.
The Zodiac Lord meme. Tiny Zodiacs suck. My life is a joke. Cancer. 10 more minutes. And now.
I like the 10 more minutes one.
10 more minutes. Just give me 10 more minutes.
Just 10 more minutes.
Do you do art collabs?
Very
well,
occasionally.
Me and Zodiac have done one.
Yeah, we did one with Tiny. But I don't do them very frequently, but I do them.
We did a 3-way art collab. By the way, 2 of those are still on sale. Someone
yeah,
go buy them.
go
please.
check out my DA if you'd like to buy either an aquamarine or a topaz.
I need the money. I need to pay my friend back for something I bought. Sing us off with an Amethyst song. Who said we were going to end the stream? Zodiac uses Photoshop.
Yay. I'm not
Zodiac, if you want,
at the
to get
Zodiac Lord.
Zodiac's
What's your
name.
favorite Homestuck character? I'm not doing the Vriska rant again. I refuse.
I love all of them, okay? Hey, look, my friend's here.
Oh.
PF1 Mill. My friend is internet famous. They grow up so fast. Hi.
Hi, Glucose's friend. If you want the Topaz Child, you gotta go onto my DA and go buy it.
You gotta go buy them.
Do you ship anyone in SU other than the obvious ships? I don't know. I'm pretty kind of chill with ships. Ships are ships.
I do not ship.
I ship my own character.
I don't like shipping Steven Universe characters.
Yeah, well, it's just kind of a mess, and there's a lot of things that you look at and like, well, that could make sense too.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
And I know this is not what we usually talk about on this place, but I hate anybody shipping with Ruby from Ruby. She is a child. She should not have ships. She's like 2 years younger than everybody else in that school. Do not ship Ruby with anybody. I'm from Wisconsin too. Pleasant Prairie, kid. You can buy stuff on DNA. Yes, you can. Vriska rant? I'm assuming that means Zodiac's favorite character is Vriska. No.
It's complicated.
We're not doing a Vriska rant. The only one who likes Vriska, we don't hate her as a character.
Here's the thing. I love her as a character, but I would despise her if I knew her in real life.
Exactly.
That's the short version of the rant.
Are you going to make a video about who shattered Pink Diamond? No.
Probably not.
This is the extent. Recorded stream is the extent of the video. All of the ships were confirmed when Peridot said we can marry each other.
That is true. That's like one of my favorite quotes. I have a picture favorited where someone like drew them all in like wedding attire and they were like, now we can all marry each other. And I was like, yes, the ship wars are over.
So, this person said, what happened to White Diamond? I think she's just off controlling her, 20 planets.
Yeah.
She has a lot of planets compared to the other ones.
I'm awaiting the day when White Diamond shows up because that's the one that Moonstone and Sunstone serve, so. And like half of my other characters, so.
Can you give a quick art tip?
Criticism is good. It's the first thing that came into my mind. It's not even really an art tip, but it's a thing.
Pink Diamond shattered herself.
That'd be a whole new level of dark.
It would be interesting, though.
It would.
Where can you buy Topaz on your DA?
On my DA?
Well, if you're talking about the collab one, it's not that far back. I think White Diamond is just talking big shit. Yeah. Guys, Onion obviously shattered Pink Diamond.
I honestly, I won't lie. I wouldn't be surprised.
What are your first names, if you're comfortable saying?
I'm Morgan.
I am... Should I say my real name or the one that I like better?
I don't know, well, you say whatever you want.
My name's Sam.
Then Sam.
I'm not trans, I just picked a different name. I just decided to pick a different name. Also, everyone calls me it, so There's no going back now.
The last stream was crazy. So many people were triggered, and so was I. It was. I was so happy. Someone tagged me on Instagram. And there was a short video of me ending the stream, and then the next picture was them throwing their computer in the trash. It was beautiful. I loved it.
The second Zodiac said, Morgan or Amatrine has, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna do it.
Yeah, everyone was ready. They were like, oh, here it goes.
No, Onion is the son of White Diamond, guys.
Yeah, he's a human gem hybrid, and his mother.
That's why White Diamond's not around.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Onion.
Onion is White Diamond.
I hate Onion.
Why?
My friend loves Onion, and I'm like, I hate Onion. He's hell. He's human incarnate of hell. He just likes to mess things up for fun. Also, they're saying White Diamond is Zodiac.
That'd be very ironic.
If you cosplay Onion, Tiny, I'm gonna be mad.
Tiny cosplay Onion and send her pictures.
No!
Do it.
Also, favorite book.
What?
What's your favorite book?
Forest of Hands and Teeth. I was ready for that one.
I don't really know a favorite book. I don't really read much. Can I say webcomic?
Mm-hmm.
Can I say manga? Because manga is technically book. I don't really have a favorite book. Can I say Persona 3? Because that's basically a frickin' book in itself.
Hey, what about Homestuck? That's beyond a book.
That's as big as the fucking Bible. Do you draw during everything you do?
No.
Well, he's not drawing now.
Yeah. Or I could be and you don't know.
I don't think you're drawing.
No, I'm not drawing. You know me too well.
Drawing,
I'm not drawing.
You can't talk.
Yeah, if I draw, I can't talk, and then I complain on my own drawing, saying, never Discord and draw, kids.
You've learned your lesson.
I've learned.
I just need noise when I draw, so actually talking and drawing. That's why at the beginning of the stream I was quiet. I was finishing up my girl.
You know, okay, I'll make this 9:30. That's what I'm gonna do. That is the official time. Just because we've started answering questions, so. 9:30 is the time. Homestuck is an anime? What you mean? I saw a joke once that said, could you imagine Homestuck actually being an anime? Because all the characters wear glasses, so I feel like they could just glass shine Lord English to death. Like, create a laser beam out of glass shines.
A lot of them do have glasses.
They all have glasses! It's kind of, honestly, it's pretty realistic to real life.
Rose doesn't have any glasses. Roxy doesn't have any glasses.
Carcat doesn't have glasses.
Carcat. Travros. Aradia. Nepeta. Gamzee. I was gonna say Equius, but he has glasses.
Yeah, he has glasses. They're broken, but he has glasses.
Kanaya. She doesn't have glasses. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
All the rest have glasses.
Well, Theft doesn't have glasses, but she has goggles.
She has goggles, which can still glare. No! Tiny! I'm
What
gonna
did
beat
they
you up. It's in the dating mistake stream chat. No,
That's beautiful.
don't do that.
I approve, Tiny. I approve. No one can even see
It's
it.
10:24 here. Pink Diamond committed seppuku. She did. I hope she did, so we can just deal with the aftermath of that. What did Tiny do? We
It
can't
shall
tell
forever
you.
remain a secret. Unless Tiny decides to do it somewhere else, but hey.
You just send a link in the note on DA, Wonder Woman. Just put the link to the thing, or
Put the thing in the thing and send the thing.
you put the link in the note box and then you send it to Zodiac.
I don't know why people have such a hard time understanding how links work on DA. Because I feel like they're just thinking, like, how do I do the image sending thing? Like, all you have to do is copy paste the link to the note, and then I can go look at it.
Zodiac, how is Red Pearl?
Red Pearl is still precious and lethal.
Oh, wait. I
What?
guess I should have asked this to you.
Yes.
Would Red Pearl and Blood Diamond Court go to Baby Blood Diamond now, since we only have 2?
Might as well.
I mean, we could always find a replacement.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean, we might. She'd still fit Baby Blood Diamond, honestly.
Yeah, she does look like Baby Blood Diamond.
I mean, she's a baby Pearl, so like.
Remember the bondage belts from Quan's stream? Oh, I do.
Oh dear.
Why was she making those fucking belts on the fall character for her thing? I don't know. She was putting it for the fall character for Amnesian.
I need that character.
She's finishing it up. She was just doing it yesterday because she had time between going 4th of July with her family.
Yeah.
We do not need to turn Moonstone into a bagel.
Why?
Moonstone's not a bagel.
Why would you do that?
Any tips on how to draw a dude?
You draw
No.
dude.
I don't know how to draw dudes a lot.
For some reason I'm like the only person that ever like in our friend group that knows how to do actually enjoys drawing guys.
The only reason I drew a dude was because he just came up in my head. I don't draw dudes because I just can't do the body.
It's not as hard as people think.
It's not, but I can't.
Just look at some references that are, if you don't like the realism ones.
I'm not gonna answer any more PB&J questions.
Any tips on how to be gay or TM? We're all secretly gay on the inside.
We're all a little gay sometimes.
That
We're all a little gay sometimes.
is true.
How do you meet the stream squad?
Do we want to do the story? Because I remember how we all met.
I met you on YouTube, and I was like, hey, should I join Lavender Diamond Court, Magenta Diamond Court? And you were like, you should probably join Lavender Diamond because it's actually established.
Yeah, and I remember because, like, I know how me and Quan met was actually because I was still setting up Magenta Diamond Court, and I got this thing of like, hey, want to affiliate with Lavender Diamond Court? And I was like, sure. And then I saw a thing at some point, and I was like, you know, I really like this Lavender Diamond Court and what they've got going on. I decided to join, and they had the PA slots, and then I made a PA, and then like ended up joining. Quan ended up convincing me to join the Discord, and I did. And then so we all just became friends.
The way I got into the... I'm not a PA in Lavender Diamond, but I somehow snuck in there.
Yeah, somehow. Well,
I just slid in there
I
for a
don't.
little bit.
I don't even think you have. Do you even have a pearl?
Nope.
You just.
I
You
made
just
purple
snuck your way in
apatite.
there.
I made a purple apatite. I convinced Quan that I can actually say no to people, and then I got into this. That's basically how I got into the stream squad.
I feel like you, because you already got the queen or king of receipts or whatever, the queen of receipts, and and then you can't, like, you're the only one you can say no to people. Like, are you secretly a spy and no one actually knows?
I swear I should be.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you revealed one day, by the way, I'm actually working for the CIA.
I'm
Like, this
just
person
very.
whom I've called my mom, who's been responding to me, is just my, like, associate.
No, it's actually my mom. It's just I'm very good at sneaking into group.
You apparently are.
I'm very good at finding things out and joining things.
I feel like that's a good enough note to end the stream on. Sam's secretly a ninja.
I'm just very good at adapting.
Alright, so I thank you all for joining this wonderful Q&A stream. I will definitely have to do this more in the future, potentially, so. Yeah, hope you all had fun, and I will see you in whatever I do next, so I'll see you later. Bye, guys!